Hello everybody, how are we doing? Welcome to another day of StarCraft 2 action as we are going to have ourselves a best of 7 to start us off, and best of 7s all day. I'm going to be here for like 3.5 hours, probably a couple of best of 7s, maybe 3, probably most likely 2.5, I'd guess. As we work our way through this group, or through this lower bracket, which looks a little bit like this. Let's actually just bring this up and show you guys what's being played for and at today. So, this is what's going on today. So we're going to have Clem vs herO. They are already qualified into the upper bracket final, and they are going to be playing live in Paris. So that's Clem and herO already kind of guaranteeing themselves that trip over to France for the top 4, and they'll be doing that from the upper bracket, so great for them. Serral sits in the lower bracket, and he's going to be playing the winner of ShoWTimE and herO, which is our second series of the day, but our first series of the day will be Bunny versus Zoun. Now, a slight edit in the bracket. Classic has unfortunately had to forfeit due to apparent health reasons, so no participation from Classic today. He can't travel to Paris, is what we're being told. So, what it's going to do is, we probably won't be here by then, but basically, the loser of Serral and herO/ShoWTimE will get a second shot at qualifying to the top 4 via the by playing the winner of Bunny versus Zoun. So that's going to be how that goes. That's a little brutal for Bunny and Zoun because I reckon they kind of like their section of the bracket with Classic in there. Especially Zoun probably liked it, but unfortunately not meant to be. As we get ready to go. And we're going to kick off into some StarCraft 2. Like I said, it's best of 7s today, guys. It's going to be a long day. Like I say, I'm only here for probably two series. We'll see what the timing is like. If they're fast series, we could probably stick around for a third, but it's NFL night, so me and Helen, it's like the one thing we do on any sort of regular basis, and considering there's like 5-6 other English streams going on, I don't think anyone's going to miss me jumping out for the last series or two. So we'll catch up on the games if they're great games as well. Obviously, we can just jump on the replays at some point, so that's going to be the dealio for the day as we kick off into this best of 7, and we start off in the top left corner of the map. Our player who kind of got rolled a little bit yesterday by Serral, it is Bunny. He takes on the red Protoss player. Down in the bottom right side from Vitality, we have Zoun. Game number 1 of the best of 7 as we get this underway, and we look to see what the plan shall be. And we look to see how everyone's going to be approaching this. Let's jump onto... Oh, there's no Indie in the lobby. Ah, what do we do? Panic. I guess we jump onto someone else then. Steal the Steadfast camera for now. Shout out my boy Steadfast. We'll probably host an up later when we finish up. And there's still a match or two left. But, yeah, we are going to kick this off and see what Bunny has in store for us. Because I think Zoun's a very difficult opponent for Bunny. I think Zoun's so good at that kind of mid to later stage. I think Bunny's going to struggle if the game gets to that point. And I think Bunny's going to have to rely a lot on the early aggression. But over the course of a best of 7, how much can you really make that, work for yourself? It's a very good question. It's a very difficult question to answer. It's not easy, simply put. So we will have ourselves a Reaper and an Orbital on the way, a Cybercore coming up. But I think it's going to be all eyes on kind of Bunny for me, because I know what Zoun's capable of. I know what Zoun's likely to do. To me, it's eyes on Bunny to impress and to show us some things that are going to give him opportunities, create advantages, and give him a shot at this series, because I just don't think... TVP is a difficult matchup for a lot of Terrans right now, and I know Bunny is 100% one of those Terrans that has struggled in the Terran versus Protoss, and is yet to really kind of find his groove in this matchup in the current meta and the current patch. So, like I say, to me it's about aggression, but I just don't see him making that work for 4 map wins across the course of a best of 7. Like I say, very happy to be proven wrong, but to me, Bunny's such a player that he does have a lot of aggressive styles and stances, but he oftentimes does end up kind of going into a bit of a longer game. I just don't think he can allow anything here to go into a bit of a longer game. I think that would be disaster after disaster for him. Of course, we'd be happily proven wrong as well if that's not the case. And of course, maybe he plays some mech. Maybe that's one of the ways in which a longer game is a bit more applicable for him, and something he feels like he can have a little bit more of a say in. So those are definitely options/opportunities that we can look toward as the Nexus is about to finish up. The Twilight Council building, Sentry and the Warp Gate coming online as we speak. Just bringing up a little bit of everything right now as we have the Widowmine, Command Center, Starport, etc. all coming through. Sentry going to join up on the low ground. We already have ourselves the A little bit of a hallucination going across the other side of the map.
Game
And
paused.
Zoun is going to pause. Lag. Camera. Lag. Oh. Well, the first word is ping, I believe. I believe the word thing is ping. But let's see. If it is occurring in service, the lag should be at a minimum unless it really is being caused by the camera. He is going to turn the camera off. So we'll give it a moment or two. He's going to restart it, see if we can get it fixed. Let me just take a couple of moments. Try and set this up. Alright, looks as though we're ready. Looks as though whatever the issue is going to be solved for now. We're going to get resumed.
Game resumed.
Nice for me. I just sit back, relax, and let other people sort it out. We're really just here to talk about the games, which is lovely. Nice and chilled out for us. Isn't Korean internet mega fast? Yeah, I think it's something to do with how they're doing the cameras. The cameras are lagging players a lot. So I think it's more to do with the software or the fact that like the camera software is like hogging all of the upload or something is just making it lag. Yeah, it's a little weird. Only a few players have had this issue, but it does seem to be linked to the cameras. But I think they've got a better solution for it today. So it might be something they've been able to figure out, and a little reset of the camera maybe just fixes it for Zoun as well. So yeah. Anyways, we do have our medevac going to come across the map. Couple of mines inside. We'll begin to journey out to that bottom right-hand corner. Just going to be bringing that straight across. You can see the sentry. Going to get taken down. 2 Reapers and the Hellion. Just going to get pulled back right there. We do have our Stalker. Able to get the Hellion at least. The Reapers, I mean, going to be happy to get a probe or so after this if they can. Obviously, he's been great so far. Getting a sentry is not a bad start at all. Now the Widowmine drop comes in. Instant pull. Don't love that for Zoun. He's not going to get the connection he's looking for. Wow, he loses only 3 workers. The second mine didn't kill anything because the first mine got everything that was nearby already. A little unfortunate overall, but I think Bunny's still pretty happy with this. 3 workers, medevac alive. No lingering kind of Widowmine drop, which is something you might sometimes kind of put a little bit of emphasis on and a little bit more of an attempt to kind of get to. So nothing like that there, as the blink will be finishing in just a few moments. Three Reapers in the back, a couple of cheeky grenades going down. You have the Stalkers still poking around out the front. Once the extra barracks coming up, Bunny probably looking for a bit of an aggressive push initially. Max lifts, pulls over to the side. That Stimpack still building. Just going to be seeing the charges continuing to come up and online. The next coming through. Again, Stimpack +1. Couple Marauders and the Marine continue to come about. Stalkers is going to get a Marine. Again, charge on the way up. Temple Archive still coming through. We have the Stalkers coming down the low ground. Robotics Facility continues to set up as well. Stimpack Combat Shield and the +1 all continue to build in. Medevac Marine Marauder continues to produce through as well. Got a couple of gateways down. Storm coming up. This is where I already start feeling... I mean, okay. This is just a 3-rack setup on 2 bases. If Bunny starts to throw down a 3rd base, I'm definitely feeling scared for him. I do think there's timing windows here for him to kind of attack when there's a few, like a low amount of storms or a low amount of High Templar available. And I think that's where Bunny may just have to look to see success. And I gotta imagine that's kind of on his mind as well. That's just in his playstyle, right? So let's see as he just started making move out. Thank you, Ruga. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the 16-month resub on the Prime. Great to see you. Thank you so much for supporting. Super appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Big push down to the bottom here as a couple of Stalkers going to get stuck and struck along the way, so taking some damage here and there, just initially, as the Bioforce gathers up. A couple of Widowmines will join in as well. Take a few moments to see a little bit of action here and there, and we do have ourselves the continued shove up. Can we get in a position? Obviously, there are the High Templar lingering on that high ground, waiting for the Storms. There's a third CC behind this from Bunny, going to be delayed by the couple of Zealots that are harassing him, so we'll have to go and deal with those. But he is going to try and expand behind this, and he is just going to start pulling back, so Bunny is going to accept, in this scenario, a little bit of a later stage of the game coming through, so gets himself ready for that. And like I say, this is not where I wanted to see Bunny ending up, but I get it. Not every game is going to be able to be a push and a win. But to me, this is where he will struggle the most, and that's why I have my eyes on him, because this is where he needs to impress, he needs to look better than expected. If he can do that, very exciting, and we have a series on our hands. But if a lot of these games are going to come down to Zoun forcing this stage of the game, and then Zoun just being a better player at this stage of the game, I think this one's going to be, like I say, a very rough ride for our Terran player. But I'm not trying to be overly negative, just really trying to paint my picture of what this series should look like as we start off. And what's up, Aegis1982 as well. Thank you so much for the 6-month resub, using that Prime sub as well. Super appreciate it. You rock. Thank you so much for being so awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Couple goes coming through. Vikings and Marines building. +1 armor upgrade building as well. Bring that straight in. A little bit of Bio's going to get that hallucination. Will get zapped down by the few Marines, and the Cyclone chasing after for a little while. The additional Zealots just being warped in. Also, he has our Nexus about to finish. +2, +1. Both on the way as well. Fine, moving out the right-hand side. A few more ghosts going about. Armor upgrade coming in. Going to be seeing the Stalkers going to get there. Marine will go down. Just getting shot at for the moment. Just seeing the couple of shots still coming by. Bio gathering up. Having the army splitting here. Obviously, gold base held by... Oh, the gold base. The whole gold tower held by the Zealot here. So the Stalker's going to blink up. A little bit of an aggressive play initially from Zoun, trying to hold Bunny back quickly. Obviously, High Templars are nowhere near the front. They're in that prism waiting to find their correct moment to strike for maximum value for the most amount of AoE possible. It's a massive attack around the left-hand side. That's always one of the dangers. You need a lot of units to go and deal with this. And as you pull back to deal with that, that's where the army can push up at the same time. That doesn't go too far forward, just going to re-establish control in the watchtower that we saw them scuffling around previously. 9 SCVs go down. It's a good amount of Zealots. Obviously, it gains you map control here as Zoun. This is a move that really just forces the Terran player to pull back. And Zoun, during this 5th base, is coming online. Colossus are almost done. And the full switch into like this later game, different set of splash damage units, really is so well underway now. We're getting into a very comfortable position as the Bio gets there, grabs the Observer. Additional Stalkers getting warped in. A couple cannons. Robot facility number 2, so we have really access to a lot of Colossus. We have a good Viking count, though, which was already good for zoning out the Prism. That means we have a good answer to Colossus preemptively here from Bunny. It's a big map, Magnatha, and Bunny is kind of approaching it in that way now, where he says, you know, walking across the other side is not likely to be super well for me. He's just being slow and steady about it. EMP onto the Zealots. Oh, that's a massive Widowmine as well after the EMP, so the Zealots get hurt heavily. It's a good little wave of defense initially. 2 upgrades and the +1 ship weapons coming by as well now. +3, +2 all coming up. The Colossus and the Observer on the way out. Cannon being added on as well. And a few barracks just building. Just going to be getting those on the way. Fusion core coming about. Fire on that left side going to get through. to try and defend the base that wants to establish there. Bunny does need to kind of get base number 4 up when your opponent's going to base 5. A couple bases ahead for Protoss is kind of okay as the Terran. Obviously, you don't want to be just too far behind on your next expand, especially when it's being threatened, because you want to try and get that established and the defensive positioning ready to go as soon as possible, pretty much. Storm coming down, few Marauders and the Ghost getting struck immediately. A little bit of a fight back as we chase an Archon for a few moments. Just the Bio going to stim up a little bit of a storm, and ooh, a little flanking High Templar. That's 2 very good storms off. That High Templar just walked in, and Bunny has no response to one High Templar around the right-hand side. Kills it off, but only after both storms land. So a little bit of a painful affair on that one. Orbital command building. A couple of Vikings coming through. Add some Marauders in. +2 ship weapons. And the rest coming online as the +3 attack. Will also continue about. A couple of tech labs also on the way by now. Bringing all of that through. As it goes again, a sneaky little EMP or 2 off. Nothing too crazy though. Stormy boy. And I go after a few Marauders. Prison goes down. EMP's getting slammed onto the High Templar. Just going to push that back very comfortably so far. So the storm coming down. The Vikings going to sit overhead and will be able to, for the moment at least, continue on to those Colossus. It's actually going to be a very good fight for Bunny, it feels like. Going to land these Vikings. A couple High Templar arriving from the back. Had some storms left on them, but this looks like a cleanup from Bunny. He will kill everything. Lost a good amount himself, to be fair. I mean, you can see Zoun straight into 2 Colossus on the breed production. But this was a good trade out when, you know, honestly, when just both of these armies trade out like that, that's pretty nice. What's up? I am Mentos. How you doing? Thanks so much for the 46-month resub, priming us up as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Scan army just gathering up. A couple scans coming down. Nothing really going on for Bunny. See all those gateways in the main. It's the force of the source of the 14 zealots that can warp in at once. Love it. Love it if you're Zoun. Needs to settle in at the front for a couple moments. Shield upgrade coming about, the +3 armor coming over as well. So you need to settle in with that for a few moments there. Game kind of settles, especially because we just got Zoun, who does not really want to attack into what is becoming a more and more defensively placed Terran. I think he's also happy just expanding himself and kind of building on his advantages right now, so there's no major rush to kind of break away from that situation. We'll poke forward, but like I say, it's very difficult to find the opening when the Liberators are out and starting to zone up in a couple of different areas. Definitely makes that a tough little scenario. EMPs will come down here. Ooh, this is going to be a better fight. Oh, the Ghost stuck in the front. We're going to try and evacuate those back in the medevac. A lot of the bio... Wow, this just got demolished. That's not the fight you're looking for, to say the least, out of Bunny. Oh, that's very sad, because I felt like this was going very kind of comfortably back and forth, but the Zoun just absolutely swept the floor with him on that fight there. And that is going to be a cleanup. GG's. Game number 1 going the way of Zoun. This army graph is brutal, by the way. Have a look at this. Look at this army graph, just absolutely silly. This was a this is kind of what I was afraid of for Bunny, that the later you go, the more comfortable Zoun is. And even when Bunny starts to feel really well, even when he starts to feel really well set up, he's definitely not like safe, right? Like, he's definitely still in danger. He's definitely still got to kind of deal with things at that point. So yeah, that's a little bit of a rough one. I think, to say the least, right there, as we get ourselves ready for game number 2. Lobby is coming up. I'll be into it in just a couple of moments. Perfect. So a couple seconds, we'll get this game 2 coming up. But yeah, Bunny just... I think he's going to have to step on the gas pedal a little more in the early game, right? Like, even if it doesn't look like he can do much, I think it may just be better to just still give it a shot. I think the players have swapped colors here, and we will be into game 2 of this best of 7, so it's a long series as well. It was a pretty lengthy opening map, to be fair. Long way to go still. Take a moment or two. Get set. Alright, Ultra Love coming up. Let's head into it. As we've got in the bottom left-hand side, the blue Terran, who will be trailing by a map, is going to be Bunny. Battling the red Protoss in the top right from Vitality, Zoun. Hey, he's here. Steal that camera. Oh, a little bit of a lag spike. Pommy gets dropped. Couple of moments then, get him out of here and get back on track.
Game paused.
Alright, pause as he gets dropped, but then get straight back to it. We'll get back and ready to roll. Game 2 of this VO7. With aggression coming up on both sides. A Proxy Barracks versus Proxy Double Gate. I'm pretty sure that it's just as Proxy Double Gateway wins. It's more aggression more quickly. I think this is just a build order loss for Bunny here as we double proxy it up. Full gate's coming by. Probe is going to find it as well. Ooh, so Zoun even knows what's up. Ay. He is going to finish it, right? Yeah, okay. I see he goes to the other side. Barracks will complete. That's big. Reaper starts. I mean, the 2 gateways are about to be done. I mean, it's awkward because... you just, I guess, realistically, you just need a battery in your main mineral line as Zoun, and then you're fine. As long as you get a battery, you're okay. And obviously, there might be some time for this Reaper to do damage. There's going to be a lot of time where these Zealots can potentially do damage on the other side. That said, as you can see, there's going to be a full wall off, so maybe the opening is not going to be as easily found as expected. What's up, Falcon, by the way? Thank you so much for the 65-month resub. WardiTV is right back at you. Thank you so much for supporting. Reaper shows up. Now you know what's up as Bunny. Right? There's the battery going down. The Probe's just going to do what they can to micro against this. The first Zealots are going to arrive. Stalkers will be the follow-up. Factory will be done soon. Probe's got a lot of damage done there. We're actually going to go onto the depot. The bunker actually touches the depot, so the depot does not have a full surround, repair surround kind of situation. Zealots want to try and keep this low, and if you can keep that low, maybe the Stalkers can show up and then help with that. Obviously, shoot down SCVs, or they can just go for the depot damage output as well. Battery finishes at home. 2 probes lost, a little bit of lost mining time. Going to finish up the SCV building the bunker initially. Depot is going to be going down soon. Widowmine is a very important unit because it will be a guaranteed KO. Something will die when the Widowmine gets brought out and burrowed here. It's going to come out. It's going to burrow. We can just give up a Zealot, though, and that's kind of fine as well. If you give up a Zealot in this situation, I don't think we're upset about that. Zoun 2 Stalkers in. Remember, there's no fighting units really here. As the Stalkers get a little surrounded. That's a little bit messy. Would be nice to get rid of the mine so it doesn't fire again. Third Stalker arriving. A new depot goes up. That's awkward, but I don't think we ever actually finished that depot. The mine's going to run away. Another attempt at a depot to buy time. A fourth Stalker, though, I just do not see how Bunny truly turns this around for long enough here. SCVs are going to start getting one shot. Okay, not anymore because we're down to only 3 Stalkers. But yeah, I mean, SCVs are just going to have to chase for the surround. And obviously, we have more Stalkers still arriving as well. At this point, Bunny is not able to afford much of anything. And just 2 gates of Proxy versus 1 gate of Proxy is a very unfair number. And GG gets called and Zoun will find himself off to a 2-0 lead as the aggression works out in the Protoss' favor. Zoun wins there on that one. Game number 2. Game number 3 coming up in a few moments' time. We'll get that started here very shortly. But yeah, unfortunately for Bunny, this is starting to go a little bit south for him. Definitely not looking to be going the way he really wanted it to or anything, that's for sure. Lobby coming up. But yeah, this is definitely going the wrong way for Bunny. Zoun, commanding position so far, looking great. Alright, countdown comes in. And we get ready to go into game number 3. Kick this off, set this going. Body in a football jersey. Yes, it's the one day I wear my jersey. Usually I wear it on the first day of the season. And then after that I don't bother anymore. But last week we still had Austin and Irene here, so we just, we didn't go all out on NFL night last week. Clearly, this week it's like true week 1 for us. Command center in the bottom left-hand side will belong to the blue Terran player. Bunny representing Falcons, of course. He is down by 2 up against Zoun. The red Protoss in the upper right-hand corner. Following this will be ShoWTimE versus herO for some PvP, and then Serral will come out to play some ZVP against the winner of that series as well. These are all best of 7s today as we look to send 2 more players to Paris in a couple of weeks' time. That will be coming up and setting up as well. Make sure to look forward to that. As the gateway drops into place, Barracks drops down. We settle ourselves into this next game. Not as many people in the lobbies today. Bunny's straight back to being aggressive, by the way. Straight up Proxy Barracks once again. Double gas from him. No surprise with the Proxy Barracks placed aggressively across the map already. Got that ready to roll. Damn it, Wardy, just realized this room of yours must be a nightmare to clean. Yeah, well, I probably should dust more than I do. But, yeah, we'll just leave it at that, shall we? I really want to... I've been talking about this a little bit, but I've had so much new stuff lately that I really want to do, like, a reordering of the room and probably move a few things out completely and stuff like that, because it's at the point where, like, we definitely could do with a little bit more just kind of rearranging things. Like, a lot of things have been in place since I first kind of set up the room, and so, like, as I've added things around it, it works, but, like, I think certain things could really do with, like, different spaces to be utilized now, so I think it might be time to yeah, switch up the room a little bit. Cybercore, Nexus, all coming through as we just get this game underway. I think it's going to be like my start of next year little project to rearrange the room a little bit. Need to rearrange some of the Pokemon stuff as well. Just not enough space, man. It's crazy. Obviously, Reba gets in here early, so we'll get busy right off the bat. So we'll see the Cherubi's hopping in. Stalker gonna be right there. Just gonna be seeing the Reapers hopping out, escaping away for the moment. Reaper's gonna drop another grenade down. That blink coming down, just going to see the warp gate coming through. Take a few moments. Reapers will head down to the bottom side. 2 more barracks on the way, so going to be quite barracks heavy. I mean, it's already the starport coming up, but ready to swing into that bio play as the next step of this. Sooner rather than later, basically. As the medevac loads up and a couple mines go boosting outward. And begin to make that play toward the upper right-hand side. So looking to get into position, looking to get things set up. It's a couple of Reapers that make their way toward the top of the map. The mine drop gets to come in, probes pull. So I'm not going to have as disastrous a mine drop experience as he did in the last game, which did result in quite a few probes going down. The Reapers, though, delivering. They get a probe, plus 1 mine getting a probe. We should be able to get a mine alive into the corner right in the medevac and kind of stick around with that for a while. 2 mines still in the corner, so always nice to have that kind of lingering effect as well. It's not a bad start at all for Bunny. Pulling back to that Game 1 experience, I'd say it's pretty similar kind of vibe. There's a couple of Reapers still coming up. The blink is about to be done. Stim, Siege Tank, Marines all building through as well. Just have the Marines going to be there. Hallucination taking a bit more damage. The bunker dropping by. Stalkers will get there. Picking off the Reaper, able to take that out also. One turret in the back, and a couple of probies will take some damage as well. A few more gates coming up. The charge has started. Still got Stim Pack and Combat Shield on the way through. Add a couple of Marines into that as well. Zoun just holding out on the bottom left side of the map already. There's one auto turret already dropping straight into place. We're going to get a couple more probes. It's been pretty good for Bunny. Honestly, I like what he's done early game. It's not been crazy, like loads of damage, but it's been absolutely fine. He's kept Zoun back with a lot of the Stalkers too, so there's been no aggressive opportunity for the Protoss player. With a 2-0 lead here for Zoun, Bunny really needs this game to go well. Turning it around from 0-3 is very, very, very rarely done. Especially when I feel like Bunny's a bit of an underdog coming into this one as well. Going to be there, jumping back into the medevacs, just loading back up for the moment. Plus 1 concussive shells coming through, Storm on the charge, continue to come up also. Extra gates, the Nexus, the barracks need to be built here. The medevac's going to be seen by the observers. The drop is figured out, and that means Zoun can be positioned. Bunny noticed it. That's an amazing catch for Bunny. Just recognizing the observer, and that's huge because it doesn't just mean he gets the observer. It means he doesn't fly headfirst into predetermined stalker placement. That obviously is going to completely shut down any attempt of a drop, right? So that is 10 out of 10 spotting from Bunny. Great awareness. That's the sort of level we play at nowadays. Like in the past, you would never see someone noticing the observer, kind of as you're just flying medevacs around. But People are just getting so good nowadays. Love to see it. StarCraft really, again, pushing the limits year after year. Bigger push from Bunny, coming across the map, looking for an attack in. This is a Zoun who has 4 High Templars worth of Storms. There's a Raven available too. I'm going to try and just get a little bit further forward. We've seen the Bio's going to fight here. A couple of Zelds already going down. And I mean, the High Templars are still yet to use their Storms though. And that's the thing, is eventually Zoun does have the much better answer to this overall still available. He's just yet to really pull the trigger on that at all to bring it into true action. A few more Zelds warping in, a couple of Archons being added on. Storms coming in. Zoun is feeling the ability to immediately counterattack. Having not used many of the Storms on the other side of the map, gives them the chance to use them here. High Templars drop one more Storm, but that's going to be about it. The Archon's very tanky, but will begin to go down, and Bunny will push this back, not losing many SCVs. And Zoun actually losing a lot of his tech units there, unfortunately. So the scan coming out, Bio still gathering. Ghosts, Murdervax, Marines all building, a couple of additional Widow Mines still on their way out. Bunny obviously holding the supply lead. Still feel like Zoun can essentially get a good bit done. We have the engineering base setting up, the armory coming through, have the command center, Widow Mines, Pikey, Marine Marauder producing. I mean, obviously I like that Bunny steps up across the map. You do feel like he's got an advantage now after Zoun lost a lot of units in that previous engagement. So maybe this is kind of Bunny's best opportunity. Nice Storms to start this fight off. That's horrible for Bunny. What are we doing, Bunny? We're not running away or anything. He's just standing and fighting. Well, I mean, that felt like a terrible scenario. Great Storms to start off with, and really just felt like trouble from that point on as those Storm comes into place. Shots just coming about. We have ourselves the Viking, a couple Widow Mines gathering themselves. Army will continue to join up together. +1 ship weapons, 2 upgrades, additional barracks, Marine Marauder, all on the way out currently. Manson coming down to that bottom side is going to get landed in the next few moments. So that's CC just moving across, going to, like I say, take some position. 2 upgrades coming about. Robo Bay, Robo Facility, Nexus, all coming in line. The ship weapon's going to come along with the 2-2 as well. Ghost, Marines, the barracks, the planetary. A little bit of everything still on the way out. Supplies do begin to even up a little bit. Obviously, Bunny is holding the 4 bases, but Zoun quite comfortably kind of moving toward base 5. 2 upgrades. Similarly, plays Zoun a little bit ahead on them. Again, switching toward the Colossus. We're getting to that kind of point where Zoun was kind of in an even-ish position with Bunny in that game 1. Before Zoun then just took a monstrously favorable fight and was able to do so much with it from there as a couple of Widow Mines go down to those Stalkers. A 2-2 finish for Zoun in a moment. Not sure if he'll be able to find a fight 2-2 to 1-1. Not sure if much is going to happen in that regard, as we just have the Vikings, the Marines, the Ghosts still building on up. Just gathering, just going to be seeing the Vikings, obviously in good numbers as well. We're maxed out on both sides here. Gravity Boost is coming online. Sounds starting to just kind of get the luxuries of the game with the Observer speed. 3-3 still on the lead to the 3-3 of his opponent as well. And just keeping on expanding as Bunny has not been able to do much. Fusion Core on the way, so we can start thinking about those Liberators as an addition to help us out here as this game gets to some later points. That's kind of where Bunny was at, like I said, in that game 1. This was the point where it looked as though Bunny was really doing okay for himself before he hit the brick wall. That was the, well, just the army of Zoun attacking in a very efficient manner, basically, is the TLDR of it. A couple of EMPs come down, the Zealots get struck, 3-3, continuing to finish soon for Zoun, and maybe an opportunity then and there for him to take this and, you know, make an engagement of it. I do not feel like we're too far away from that becoming much more of a reality here. So, it's got to be careful. Gonna get jumped on there. A couple of them start to go down. Stalker's going to show up. Medevac getting pushed back. Colossus going the other way as well. We'll see the couple of High Templar unloading. They will drop a couple of Storms in already, as you just see the Storms in the front. Going to do decently. Can Zoun keep on pushing? He's looking for one more Storm. The High Templar drops in. It's a massive Storm right onto the center of the Marines. It was the perfect location. I don't think he could have found a better Storm if he tried. If, you know, if his opponent wasn't playing the game, I don't think it would have looked much better. And grab one unit over to that right-hand side. Bio going to linger on the high ground. Planetary Fortress will stand its ground here and we'll try and get some repairs on it. Storms continue to come through across the Vikings, across the rest of the Bio. High Templar's trying to show up. We are EMPing those with confidence, though. And actually, Bunny, I mean, he lost the base, he's losing SCVs, but can he get a decent trade at the end of it, at least? He doesn't even clean up everything on that left side, which I felt like maybe was his road to having some success. And Zoun is just remaxed and ready to go already, huh? Like, he is just in such a stellar spot still. As he comes back in with reinforcements, Zealots especially going to start overwhelming. Stalkers could go after Medevacs here already even. Going to blink in, gets the full Medevac. That's going to be GG. Zoun 3, Bunny 0. Feels like this does not necessarily need to be a best of 7 the way it's going right now. Zoun is looking extremely confident and very much so as though he's just, you know, the one to control this series. He knows what he's doing, he knows what he wants out of it, and he just keeps on getting it at the moment. So, going very, very well for himself. We'll take a second and head ourselves into game number 4. It is best of 7. Obviously, there's generally a break here, guys. We do usually take a couple of minutes after 3 maps before the mainstream resumes the show. So we'll have a few moments here of downtime. We'll wait up a little bit and hopefully get that resumed soon. Or at least the Terrans going to Libs last time. Is it because they all just died into the mid-game? It seems like Bunny had money for that in the last game. Libs, I mean, Libs are just that thing where it's like, once you get a lot of Libs, it's really good. But getting to a lot of Libs is really dangerous, right? Especially when the Protoss is kind of poking away at you. And as you get like a couple Libs up, you're kind of that kind of weak player because you're trying to invest in a lot as well. And it's also at this weird point in the game where Libs are going to do a really good job of like locking down certain locations and bases. But it's at this weird point in the game where it's going to get, they're going to get into those kind of numbers they can do that in, when there's more bases than ever before to defend. So it's about kind of having the chance to get to the right number of libs without being outpositioned when you're already slowing your army movement down with the liberators needing to siege and stuff. In general, I think it's how you want to play TVP. Like, typically you do want to go into like a higher liberator count, especially if they are not going to go into Tempest straight away against it. If they go Tempest, you don't maybe want to stick on those liberators, but if you are going to go, if they're going to go no Tempest, then they're basically going to say that they're going to fight libs with Stalker Storm, which is viable until a certain liberator count, at which point it's really not viable. And then if you don't have Tempest up, you run into the same issue the Terran has of getting to a lot of libs. How do you then get to a lot of Tempest without just having to keep on warping in Stalkers and throwing them at the libs to try and stop those numbers from being too ridiculous? So, yeah, I think typically liberators is kind of what you want to go to, but it is a very difficult request. It's not something that's easily done in the slightest, basically. I also forgot that I need to click the join button on the game. Hopefully it didn't start. Oh, we're good. I keep forgetting I'm not in the chat channel in Korea. I'm looking for a lobby link and yeah, I'm not going to see it, so... Getting too involved in my responses to chat, huh? 2 minutes is the go time, so 2 minutes and we will be officially allowed to resume this matchup. Yeah, it's really tough for Bunny. I mean, like I say, I painted the picture kind of expecting this to be the series that we got, and so far it's been exactly that. I just don't know what to tell you guys to kind of believe in for Bunny, you know? Like, to me, I look at this right now and I'm like, I just don't see what Bunny can do to really save himself. Like, this is tough. I mean, you haven't seen him kind of being super committed to aggression, maybe. Arguably, he could have had a couple of games where maybe he went a little bit harder and a bit more committed and so on, but I mean, even that, I don't feel super confident asking for him to do, because a lot of the time Zoun has just been very prepared to deal with any aggression like that and to really handle a lot of aggression like that, so... It's a tough one for sure. Don't really know if I have a good answer. Gogos are being called, so we should just be a moment away. Looks like they're going to keep us moving nice and swiftly here. Rorder rush 4 times in a row. I think, honestly... I think he honestly just has to, yeah, I think his best call would genuinely just be to kind of full send. And just be like, commit to like 2 base and just say, I'm going to 2 base no matter what else happens. And just never really like look back from that. I think that's kind of the point at which we're... I think that's kind of like the point at which we're at right now, really. I think that's the best kind of move we can go for. When Clem switches race halfway through a series, you know something's off. By that logic, TVT is also a problem. Those darn Terrans, they've been winning TVT for years! In fact, TVT is even worse. He swaps to Protoss before he even plays a TVT. It's that imbalanced. Crazy. In the bottom right-hand side, 3-0 up. He really feels like he is cruising through to the next round at this point, to be honest. It's going to be the red Protoss player, Zoun. 3-0 lead over Bunny, the blue Terran, in the top left-hand corner of the map. Can Bunny find a way back into this series? The one thing I don't love about Best of Sevens is that once it gets to 3-0, it just feels so impossible to turn it around from there, no? It just feels like you're asking for something that is truly unrealistic, I think. Very tough. Very, very tough. As you just see, the SCV will continue to chase that probe about. Orbital Command, Marine, Cybercore Nexus, all building up here for a few moments. A little bit of everything on the way through. Initially, just going to be having the command center and the orbital building by. Marine on the way. And, yeah, Simulator coming out as well. Nexus will be done soon. The warp gate begins to come up and online on the Cybercore as well. Factory will be finishing soon. The command center continues to come about. Again, the bunker building, reactor on the way. Double probies building through. A little chrono boost on the Nexus as well, so we bring all of that around. Feeling pretty reasonable for the moment. As the Twilight Council, probes and the sentries continue to build. Starport, orbital. And a little bit of all that just on the way through right there. We got the Cyclone going at a Marine on as well. Seeing the Twilight Council is about to finish up. Add a couple gateways onto the rest of that. And a couple probes and the blink will come as well. Can we push and pressure with the Medevac, Cyclone, and Marines? That's been one of the more successful ways of pressuring as a Terran play as of late, so maybe that has a little bit of hope for us here. Maybe has a little bit of opportunity it could provide. As you just see the gateways continue to come about. The blink and the warp gate all coming through as well. Tractor moves over, is going to start up the tech lab. Binary building. As you can see, the hallucination is going to be denied. The medevac down to the bottom side, just like I say, looking for its chance to deal some damage. Banshee on the way too, I like it. Marine, Tank, Banshee, to me these are all the units I feel like Bunny needed to rely on in this series, and we've really not seen that much of a lot of them, you know? It's been a lot less aggressive from Bunny than I thought it would be. I mean, last chance for him now. Going back to what I think is the most tried and tested for him. Battery obviously not in range, so as I say, obviously is going to be okay to help here, but actually the center is out of reach, and so that means we are going to lose the first sentry very quickly. The few stalkers coming back around. The stalker and the blink continue to come up and online. Observer and the probe building as well. And oh, 2 more factories. So we're going to play mech for the final game from Bunny unless he can get a victory. So he's going to really swing it into all sorts of differences here for game number 4. Hey, honestly, I like it. It has not been working for him from games 1 and 3. Obviously, game 2 was a bit of a wash. That one maybe don't count so much. Nice position from Zoun, though. He knows this medevac's on the way back, and he's going to get everything with no losses because of the blink. Beautifully done. Great positioning. Gets a medevac for Cyclone. Especially considering we're playing mech here, right? You know, a Cyclone would be nice to have in the army. You're going to continue to build into those most likely. Zoun just gets the Templar Archives on the way. Begins that charge upgrade as the next upgrade to come from the Twilight Council. That is also going to be a big deal here. And the extra gates coming through. The charges coming up as well. Temple Archives not too far from being completed. Destination back toward the upper left-hand side. Again, Tank Banshee, the armory, bit of everything continue to come through right there. Zoun is still going to be heavy on the High Templar and heavy on the Storm. as his defense initially here, so that part is maybe not too surprising just yet. Couple tanks, the few Marines make their way out the front. And Storm is not far from being done. Charge still coming about as well. And the upgrade's going to be done as Bunny potentially thinks of moving out here. Be seeing the armies gathering together. Mark on a couple of gates continue to come about. Just going to be seeing the Banshees overhead. Everything else continues to gather in. And you have the Mech field going to be finishing very soon. Zealots and High Templars still building up. The SCVs are going to begin to pull down to that bottom right-hand side. So, off down to the bottom. So actually, I mean, I didn't actually... Okay, I'm not going to lie. I didn't really consider the fact that this was just 2 bases. I really thought he was heading into a third. A 2-base mech push all in. I kind of like it. It's fun. It's different. Do we have enough to deal with this as Zoun? The question is going to be how well do those Hellbats hold up. Oh, the Zealot flank could have been huge, but actually the Zealots get caught up. They go after the reinforcements, which is nice in a way, but it does stop you kind of having as much power onto this army as you might have originally thought you would have. Now, the Zealots are still going to get here, though, and those tanks are going down, and Bunny's supply is going down, and Bunny is going to be exiting in the top 8 of the Maestros of the game. The Banshee will fall. The Banshee is the only thing that he has left. And realistically, we're Stalker Warp in a way. In fact, it's already been made. From seeing those Banshees just not being that threatening any longer. Bunny going to try and make the most of this, but he's got it. He can see the Zealots that he just can't possibly deal with. He knows for a fact that those Zealots are something he has no way of stopping here in this game number 4. He's down 0-3. Yes, has been a matchup we talked about all day. It's been kind of the Zoun, you know, Zoun is the expected favorite. And in this case, it really has just been Zoun looking good in every aspect of the game, against the early pressure, against mech, against bio, in the later stages, and the aggressive kind of cheesier openings. Zoun really just has had a much stronger and more solid showing than what Bunny has had here. With doubling the supply, attacking in here, he can do as he wishes. Obviously, SCVs are falling to the wayside. The couple of Cyclones that are left are unlikely going to make the defense you need. And the Zealots continue to just wreak havoc upon the Naturalists. I said it after Game 3, this probably didn't need to be a best of 7. We saw an extra kind of cool build from Bunny, but it was just never enough. And yeah, Bunny had no real way to figure this one out. As our Zealot Stalker continues through, Cyclone after Cyclone dropping down, Banshee falls, Marines fall, GG, Zoun takes a 4-0. We'll have a little bit of downtime. He's going to have to wait a couple best 7s to play his top 6 match that will potentially qualify him to play in Paris. That'll be between the loser of Serral and herO/ShoWTimE, depending on the result of herO/ShoWTimE, which is up next. PvP time. herO versus ShoWTimE is going to be our pros versus pros matchup that we head into for the next stage of this, and that is going to be what we what we get into for the next stage. So we'll be going into herO versus ShoWTimE PvP. And once herO/ShoWTimE PvP is done, the winner of that plays Serral. Like I say, if this next match is kind of speedy as well, there's a good chance we see the Serral matchup. Like I say, I'm not here for the full day today. I will be dropping out at some point. So we'll see how quickly the PvP goes. Obviously, the fast TvP helps us out with potentially seeing the Serral match as well. Obviously, I will be here tomorrow for WardiTV Mondays, by the way, guys. So you'll be able to catch me full stream tomorrow as well. But back onto our original scheduling and so on. That's going to be the case for the next week and a bit, and then on Wednesday next week, so not Wednesday coming up, but the week after, I go away for a few days, but otherwise, we really are back to a lot of StarCraft. We actually just announced the WardiTV Team Liquid Map Contest Team Tournament, which is going to be some open 2v2, 3v3, and 4v4 events, but also, on Sunday next week, so a week from today, you'll be able to watch the WardiTV TLMC 2v2 all-kill. $1,000 on the line, 2 teams of 6 players will enter an all-kill format, and they will play 2v2s, and every time a team loses, the next team, every time a team loses, one of their players gets eliminated from being able to play, and so you have to send out another teammate, and make another 2v2 combo and another fight to happen from there. So that's going to be coming up next week. I think it's going to be kind of fun. A little bit inspired by Uthermal's 2v2, kind of mixing up kind of the teams of players a little bit and stuff. So 2v2 all kill next week as part of the TLMC. I actually think that's going to be a lot of fun. That'll be on Sunday, so... anyways, all of that said, we probably have some downtime here. The main stream usually takes like 10 minutes or so from this point, and that's being generous. That's if everything goes smoothly. Really depends on how quickly they veto as well. But hopefully some fast vetoes, and we can get into this next best of 7, which, like I say, will be PvP ShoWTimE versus herO coming up. We'll hop onto the American server as well. Get ready for that. I'm actually going to throw us to the break screen for a couple minutes, guys. We'll be right back. More StarCraft on this way. Like I said, ShoWTimE versus herO up next. Hello everyone, how are we doing? Videos are done, maps are selected. I'll be into some action here in a couple of moments, just working on getting the camera set up and stuff. It's missing herO's camera, and we should be, at least on my point of view, good to go. Obviously, they still need to actually host the game. The French stream's in break for another few minutes apparently, so hopefully not too long though. Hopefully a little bit less downtime than yesterday. We had a few matches yesterday where there was a lot of time between the games. Hoping today is a little bit of a smoother experience. A lot of pauses yesterday as well for the camera lag and stuff. Hopefully also gets solved a little bit for today too, so fingers crossed. ShoWTimE not at his chair right now, but hopefully makes his return soon. This herO drops us his nope, it's not herO, that's someone telling us the colors. Just waiting for herO to drop us his camera link as well, and I imagine we'll be going within a few minutes here, guys. Probably 3 or 4 minutes if I had to guess, maybe a little bit longer, but I feel like that would be unlucky. And yeah, we can get this on the way. There is herO's camera, perfect. Just gonna copy paste on that. Double check that's working, and then should be good. Yep, it looks as though we're good on terms of cameras. Perfect. Turn that off over here for now then. And the lobby's coming up. Like I say, shouldn't be too long. The French stream had 10 minutes on, but that was a while ago, so we should be more or less back on track as we enter this PvP. See who will get a chance to play against Serral. The thing is, even if you lose against Serral, you have that second chance against Zoun now with the forfeit of Classic, so it's interesting. Awesome. Like I say, we're in the lobby. They're not setting players up just yet, but I can't imagine we're going to be too far away. This is the big online tourney. It is, but there is the offline portion as well. Honestly, so the reason Classic gave was health issues, and he was advised not to travel. But I also see Classic right now. I was on the Korean server. He's playing in finals in like a tournament where the first place prize is just as much as this one. He played RSL earlier. I get the feeling Classic just couldn't really play today, and he's also like, you know what? Playing the lower bracket, like, think of it like this, right? Classic's in the lower bracket, right? And he's like, huh, I'm in the lower bracket, and even if I win today, next week, I have to fly to France to play one series against Serral. If I'm Classic, I also have some health issues. You know, like, you know, dude's playing like like winning like 5k plus today already. I think he forfeits the 1.5k he's guaranteed or something, you know, and just kind of says, yeah, you know what, maybe not. I mean, a flight to France just to play a best of 7 against Serral does not sound good. So yeah, he was the official reason we have is he was advised not to travel because of some minor health issues. I think it's very suspicious that that shows up the the day after he loses the upper bracket. I think if you get the upper bracket finals, you're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to send it. It's a little bit more money already. 2 chances as well. I always hate... it's actually one problem I have with this format. I almost would have preferred that top 4 of this event, they go to play the offline finals, but they go to the offline finals from the same position. So, if, like, for example, Clem and Reynor yesterday just qualify, and then whoever qualifies today just qualifies, and then you match them up, and you just have like a 4-player like double elim that's just fresh. Because I do think traveling, we had the same thing when it was TSL one time, and the TSL was hosted at the Team Liquid offices. where basically a bunch of players flew out to play one best of 5 in the lower bracket, and then they lost, and that was it. So I think it would have been way better to just be like, okay, the top 4 are qualified, and then you just reset the top 4 for the offline portion, rather than the offline portion being like a continuation of this bracket. I think that would have been nice. I understand why they didn't do that. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing necessarily, but I do think it actually would have been nicer for the players as well to go to France and at least have 2 series to play. Even if you lose, it feels a little bit better, right? So, it feels like you've had a couple of shots at it. Yeah. Just, it's just brutal. Like I say, it's a long way to travel for some of these guys to only have 1 shot, and like you say, you're traveling all that way just to play Serral. And it's a brutal tournament when you think about it like that as well, right? Because, you know, top 4 is guaranteed $1,600. Now, don't get me wrong, $1,600 isn't nothing. But say, for example, you kind of come through the lower bracket, your top 4, $1,600, you then have to beat Serral, and if you beat Serral, you only get $800 more. And then you have to beat one of herO/Clam. It's that jump to first place. The first place prize is $6,600, second place is $3,000, and then fourth place is $1,600. So there's like this really big jump of first to second, and that really makes it so brutal to go through the lower bracket for, because like I said, it's not impossible, but your chances are obviously very low as well. So it is just rough. I think it would have been nicer to have like a little bit more of a reset, per se. But, and maybe spread some of that first place prize down just a little further as well, just because, again, everyone having to travel out is a big commitment, right? You know, it's a big commitment to have to travel out. I think trying to get people a little bit more prize money, a little bit more kind of guaranteed cash would have been maybe nicer as well, but yeah. Like, in a way, it's kind of weird, but like some players probably see top 6 taking home. So top 6, this is the crazy part. Top 6 takes home $1,400, by the way. Like, isn't that kind of crazy? Top 6 takes home 40. So by winning, you have to fly to France, and then you lose in France, and you only make $200 more. I actually think there's a bit of a problem with the prize pool layout, to be honest. So that's actually crazy. If Classic actually just gets paid the $1,400 as well, then don't get me wrong. Like, it might not be like this at all, but it wouldn't surprise me if Classic was like, yeah, no, actually I can't travel, because like you're losing out on $200. Yeah, I don't know. I think realistically, like, making top 4 should be like a double prize money jump. It's like you go from like winning like $1,200 to like $2,500 guaranteed at least, you know? Then it really feels at least worth it. Then you're sitting on a plane there and back. At least you can argue the flight time is like $600 a day or something, you know? Okay, you know, you don't make as much. You know what I mean, though? You see what I'm saying? It's just, it's a whole thing. And every time you travel, there's always going to be some costs. Like, you're probably going to spend some money on food as well, right? It's why this format is a little bit rough to pull off, I think, at the end of the day. And like I say, it's weird, because I think if you just had this tournament like mostly offline, a lot of people would be happy to travel for it, even if they ended up with less because they don't make top 4. It's just when you're already top 6, making top 4 from that point feels feels bad in a weird way. Like, it is so strange. It's kind of a weird one. Like I said, I'm not trying to dampen the tournament or anything. I think the format's very cool. Just maybe they could have approached that to make it a little bit better, a little bit more approachable. But I also honestly imagine that's feedback they'll receive, and I imagine that's feedback they'll work on as well at some point too. Anyways, best of 7 here. It is the other matchup in the lower bracket, round 1. ShoWTimE and herO, and herO goes all-out aggression to start us off here. Robo Facility Proxy, the depths on the way, and we will see herO kicking this series off with a bang. And ShoWTimE has a couple of adepts of his own, going to move those out. And, yeah, ShoWTimE's, right now, his biggest issue is just the scouting. He hasn't scouted anything, so he's got no idea whether this is potentially a proxy. He has no idea at all, really, what's going on. He's not going to see it with these 2 adepts either, so he completely whiffs the scout. He's going to get an Oracle coming by from the Stargate. And then, he'll get a bit of information from these adepts that he's shading forwards. We've seen a couple of Stalkers there, going to poke away. The Adepts take some damage. Yeah, the Adepts continue to pull back. Oracle going to pop out from the Stargate. Stalker going to fire a few hits. The Oracle going to fly by. The Prism going to be right there as well. Sees the Oracle on the move. Let's just see the Prism heading into the main base. A couple of Adepts drop off, and in they go. So we're going to fire the Oracle, dealing a little bit of damage as well. Sentry going to be overhead. Can continue to nibble through there for a little bit of damage. The Oracle doing okay. 5-6 workers. Now you know that you're going to be in some trouble though, right? So definitely gets to a little bit of a dangerous point. Three workers going down on the other side as the couple of Stalkers going to hit the Adepts. Robo Facility and the Phoenix on the way from ShoWTimE. I think he's looking okay defensively, to be honest. Let's see, the Phoenix obviously will help a lot. A lot of utility available on that. That one Stalker's locked in the wrong side of this, unfortunately. We'll see how we use the Phoenix if we're going to poke. I mean, the Immortal on the way starts to feel good. Lifts an Adept. The lift is nice because it means that you can't lift it up with the Prism and kind of avoid the shots, right? So there's aggression beginning here. We fire up with a few of the Stalkers already. Pylon goes down. ShoWTimE supply block is not as pretty. Have to rebuild a couple of pylons there and maybe misses a warp in because of it. Will actually maybe lose out on starting his second Immortal as well for a few seconds, and obviously that could potentially be something which adds up over time. Also, as the Stalker Sentry knocking through the gateway, now the battery in some trouble. Prism gets pushed away. With the gateway in production, the gateway at the front really is still taking some shots. It's going to go down. ShoWTimE not able to stop this pressure up from herO. Obviously, herO's negative in this game is going to be A, expanding because there's still units on the other side, and B, his Robo will always be exposed in this game, so that's something ShoWTimE may be able to capitalize on at some point. Phoenix steps across, Stalkers are there, turning the Phoenix around. A couple gateways still coming online, and more than the Phoenix building up. Phoenix is going to fire. Observer gets taken out. Stalkers and the Immortals will gather for a few moments. Still got that Resonating Glaives coming through. They get that one underway for a couple moments. The Immortal and the Phoenix coming about from ShoWTimE as well. So continue to bring that about. A couple of Adepts will shade their way forward. They head in toward the main base here. At the end of the day, herO starts to pull back a little bit. Still has not been able to expand back at home. That Glaive has obviously given us a good idea of what he wants to get to. A little bit of aggression on the way, perhaps. ShoWTimE did beat herO in the group stages of this tournament. That's why he had a good seed coming into the bracket yesterday. Lost to Classic, of course, in that upper bracket match. More on a couple of Stalkers fire. The Adept goes down, and now more units from ShoWTimE will pop out from the natural and begin to take a stance onto the map here. Another force field coming down. A couple of units going to get caught. We'll be seeing a little bit of a cleanup as a few more Adepts and the Resonating Glaives coming about as well. Stalkers will take out the Observer. Pylons will be under fire. The Robo Facility will continue to drop here as we see the Robo going down, the Pylons going down. herO ends up supply blocked. As again, a couple more Pylons and the Resonating Glaives coming through for the moment. Nexus about halfway done. Two Adepts just warp in. We're going to drop a couple force fields out to that right-hand side. It's a lot more force fields coming into play here. Immortal lifted up into the sky as well. A couple shots still coming through. Stalkers, Adepts still taking damage. You can see the Phoenix going to lift up and back away too. Sentry's going to get chased. ShoWTimE going to get pushed back easily. Oracle flies into the main base. Stalkers are hot on its tail, so it will not find a ton of damage there. And obviously ShoWTimE does have the ability to kind of save a little bit with the Phoenix, and I don't know what that recall was. That didn't look pretty. The Phoenix dove for the Prism, by the way, and they gave up a couple of their numbers to be able to get it. But that was, like I say, a very committed situation, as now these Adepts are still shading through, and the Glaives is giving herO a lot of firepower. I mean, getting rid of the Prism does, of course, take away some of the micro potential here. Now is going to be the Phoenix trying to lift up the Immortals. We targeted one down. We're going to let the other just kind of sit there. Eventually, that Immortal will drop back down. The Immortals at ShoWTimE just getting overrun with the firepower that herO has. Now numbers start to even up a little bit. Phoenix will still be around for another lift. Again, no Prism micro available on the side of herO. Because we took that Prism down, that's a major deal breaker. ShoWTimE needs to save this last Immortal, though. It's still just not being good enough for him. herO has been able to power his way through this. herO is the one base player, really does need to do something against an expanded ShoWTimE, at the very least deny this expansion. Into another lift, and we're all going to get grabbed. A couple Stalkers taking damage. We'll also take a few more shots as the Prism goes down as well. Oh, now I don't like it for ShoWTimE at all, because now he's not going to be able to save that Immortal. Oh, is he? He pulls it back quite nice with a few Adepts in the front there, putting in some work. We're actually very close to having Blink completing here on the side of herO as well. That would be another major addition that would help you quite a lot. Immortal goes down. Stalkers continue to fight. This other Stalker takes a few more shots of damage. Nexus super low, getting lower. I think that Nexus is about to go down here, and it is going to fall. So that Nexus drops. It's going to be the end of that one. Unless the Stalkers come through, the couple of Adepts will take a few more shots. GG. And herO is going to take game number 1. Kind of a crazy ending in the end, but yeah, I actually felt like ShoWTimE should have been in a bit of a better spot on that one, but herO's able to switch it into his favor. Nicely done. Alright, we'll go to game 2 here. Tokamak in a second or two. Get that underway. What do I think about weekend offline tournaments? I didn't want to go into this question just because obviously game was starting to heat up a bit, but I think weekend offline tournaments are fine as well. Like, I mean, the thing is, offline tournaments are always going to have a lot of costs associated to them, which is, you know, you could argue is it worth it or not, but I actually do think offline StarCraft is important to still have. I think as long as it's like, as long as you're not like, for example, you know, when ESL did the big stage and stuff at DreamHacks, that costs so much money. You don't need to put that much money into running an offline tournament, though, right? Like, I think you can still have a very cool offline tournament that doesn't have the massive LED stage and lights and stuff. I think offline StarCraft is still very good because that offline element can be very good without spending too much money on it. So I think, you know, I think if you have, as long as the offline aspect of it does not eat too much into what could support the players otherwise, I think it's good. You know, like, I think MAESTROS is a good idea in terms of how much they split between the prize pool and the offline section. Because, for example, running the offline tournament, I believe they put out something like 50% of the crowdfunding went into the prize money, and then like 35% or 40% of the crowdfunding or something, I can't remember exactly the numbers, but it's something like that, went into the production and the offline portion of the tournament. To me, that seems pretty reasonable, because this already gathered a good amount of prize money, right? If you are going to spend like 20k running an offline tournament that has like a 5k prize pool, I think you would have been so much better just running an awesome 25k online tournament, you know? Or like an awesome online 20k tournament with 5k of production even would be kind of incredible too. You know? I think it's all about finding the right balance of how much you spend on the extras versus how much you spend on the players. Because a lot of what will bring people in is good games and good players and good games come from tournaments that have good prize pools and a lot of meaning, because then the players are going to try their absolute best to win the top prizes, right? So I think it's about the balancing act at the end of the day. I think it's about balancing the mixture of offline costs versus what you could have done if it was just online, you know? It's just about being sensible, really. At the same time, if you've got your own money to like throw at it, then, you know, go wild, throw an offline tournament. My point more is, like, especially if you're crowdfunding, I think it's very important to try and be sensible with what you spend crowdfunded money on, because you kind of want to make sure that you're getting the most out of the community's investment in you. Like, if you as a crowdfunder have a responsibility to do something that represents well the money you've gotten from the community, right? And like I say, like, you know, that could be an offline tournament, that could be a purely online tournament, but it's just about finding the right balancing act where I think people are pretty in touch with when something seems silly and when something seems reasonable, you know? So, yeah, hopefully that's a detailed answer that hits all the interest. It's always a fun thing to talk about. If anyone has any more questions about it, feel free to ask, because I like talking about this stuff. As a tournament organizer, these things make me happy, you know? Nexus, couple sentries, warp gate, all building up for the moment. Stalker probes in the gateway coming about as well, so just bringing a little bit of everything up right now. Stalker will patrol for a little bit longer. Hallucination coming through. Sentry and the Stalker coming up on the gateway. A couple extra gates in the warp gate still building. And we just have ourselves a continued setup for the next little while as Stalkers continue to gather together. The tournament in Poland was a good example. Yeah, I think the tournament in Poland was something that didn't go overboard on production cost. It didn't go overboard on venue cost. It was kind of a bit bare bones, but it provided an offline tournament with good prize money that was worth players not just traveling to, but traveling and paying their own tickets to. Because that didn't pay for flights and stuff, you know? So I actually think that was a great example of like an offline tournament done right, I think. Classic eliminated from the tournament. He forfeited. He did not want to play. He says he can't travel to Paris if he qualifies, unfortunately. Better to have a 20k online tourney than a 10k offline one. Yeah, I mean, it depends what you're trying to get out of it. At the end of the day, like I say, there's different value in each online and offline. I also think, like, there's also this weird thing where, like, I would say 2 10k online tourneys are better than a 20k online tourney, right? Like, in my eyes, because if I could run a 10k tournament this month and then run another 10k tournament next month, to me that's so much better than running a 20k tournament just this month, right? Because you're also probably not going to entice too many more players with 20k over 10k. And that's why I think that's why I think the whole situation is, like I say, it's all kind of about looking at the situation kind of on an individual case and just kind of looking at how much you're spending here or there, what your goal is, what the benefit is, etc. For Poland tournament, there was a one-day LAN in Krakow. It was like the weekend after EWC. A few of the players, Reynor, Lambo, and Clem, flew straight from EWC to Krakow to participate even. Yeah, like I said, that's my whole point. Like, I think if you put out like a 10k offline event, I think a few of those are important to still have. Like, I do think there's importance in offline StarCraft too. I think there's good stuff to have there, something different that sets you apart. Some people just like watching offline things. Some people don't want to tune into like an online tournament that happens over 2 weeks. They would rather tune into an offline tournament that happens over 2 days. And while that might not kind of make as much viewership overall, you are hitting a different audience, and that's why it's important to have as well, because then you're interesting more people overall in StarCraft. If every tournament was the same thing, then you're going to hit the same group of people who like watching that exact kind of tournament, online events, and you just watch every day, versus the people who just want to watch like a weekend here or a weekend there. If there's an offline tournament that provides that opportunity, that's a really cool chance for them to be like, oh, I'm going to watch StarCraft this weekend. That's why I think it's important that, you know, there's a good mix of these tournaments, because you are hitting kind of different aspects and different values with it, so... So yeah, I think that's... Sorry, I mean, I'm just yapping over the start of this game, but it's not super crazy. But I think that's why there is kind of importance in it, and sometimes the extra cost of running something offline is absolutely viable. I mean, sometimes as well, like, depending on what offline tournament it is, it provides an experience for fans to go and watch, right? And those are people that may just kind of think that's really freaking cool. They may kind of get back into StarCraft because of it. Like, there's so many good reasons, and not everyone's going to benefit from running an offline tournament, but I think some people, you know, there's always going to be those little bonuses as well. Whether that's worth 5 or 10k, probably not, but like, some things you can't put a price on either. ShoWTimE is pushing. Don't love it. The Immortals are putting up a really good fight here so far, and those force fields have been great. No, sorry, I've just not even set up the scoreboard. I'm yapping so hard. Jesus. Sorry, yeah, ShoWTimE just attacking in. No blink from him. Sorry, no, he does have blink. I had the scoreboard upside down as well. I'm confusing myself. I had blink, but just obviously blinking in, got a few of the stalkers stuck, and actually ended up losing a lot of those numbers very quickly, so not really ideal for ShoWTimE. In the early stages, he does now move around to the 6 o'clock position where the fuse slow zealot's going to be found. This is looking rough because hero's had a great defense already, and I feel like with time, hero's position improves heavily. Temple Archives, couple extra gates, the Prism coming up. I like his army where ShoWTimE is building more low-tech kind of swarmy units. This is a style you see where kind of the one player just plays pure gateway units and the other guy tries to get the tech units out. The gateway only player can succeed in these games as well. This is not like a guarantee, right? So I do think there's a reason ShoWTimE plays this, because it is a viable style, even though you might be like, well, why do you need tech at all? This is something you can play where you try and outmass and outposition and outrun your opponent a little bit. He's attacking on the natural right here, jumping on some of the tech units and getting a good trade for himself with the stalkers. Here it finds himself a few zealots across the map, though that will force I was going to say force a warp, but it's actually going to force a recall even. Stalkers get brought back home. Now a very good chance to clean up a lot of these zealots, though, and that's obviously really nice as well. Hero still maintains, though, a supply lead throughout this. A lot of it in army supply as well, which is not great. You're not just ahead in tech, you're ahead in army supply, and I think that's taken away from what is meant to be the power of ShoWTimE's force. I just don't think this is really doing what ShoWTimE wanted it to get done. I feel like he's hitting himself into a little bit of a difficult spot now. I think he's ended up in some trouble. I'm just going to fight again. I mean, herO already looking to pressure. He obviously felt as though this was a good fight already. Now the Prism on the third base, a massive zealots over here. He's actually going to use those to... I looked as though he was going to flank the rest of this army from ShoWTimE. He wasn't really needed, though, as we are going to get here. ShoWTimE warps in some zealots to try and join in with the stalkers that are arriving. And ShoWTimE must defend this, because if he loses this fight, he's going to lose his third base, and then you do not really win the game. Love the Immortals. They are positioned toward the stalkers, and they are hitting the stalkers as well. The zealots are doing their job brilliantly, and this has turned into a one-sided battle. GG, ShoWTimE does not make it happen here in game number 2. As PvP not delivering for him today so far, as he is now down 0-2 against herO, and herO looking strong at this point. herO just doing a lot of the good things, and in the game here, which kind of opened up similarly in terms of, no one really did too much damage super early. ShoWTimE decided to just go with units, and that go did not work out. That go turned out to be rather painful in the end, so we'll jump into a game number 3. Gresfan, we don't usually take breaks after 2 games, so we should just be directly into game 3 here. Get this going immediately. Pick this off, and like I say, we can go. Ready, GLHF says herO. Waiting for ShoWTimE to join us still. Do. Alrighty, let's dive in as you hear the countdown finishing up. 2-0 lead for our Blue Protoss, Korean in the bottom right-hand corner, herO. Teamless right now, dropped by Twisted Minds, post-EWC, but still throwing up some games so far. In the top left, Red Protoss is ShoWTimE. I just realized that Wardy as a UK person could have chosen to be a fan of any NFL team but chose the Bengals. Do I really hate myself that much? Look, I just have a Bengals jersey because I'm not like a fan of a specific team. I just like a few teams, and so I just picked a jersey that was fun and colorful to get a jersey for, Bengals are fun to watch lately. I mean, you know, if you only watch them on offense, they're pretty fun to watch. I'm trying to pick which team to get a. I'm trying to decide which team to get my second jersey of. I like the colorful. How many used to give it to make me a Vikings fan? Me and Helen like the Vikings. Helen likes the Vikings because they have a cool color jersey as well. She has a Vikings jersey. We're going to see the Vikings in like 3 weeks or something. So maybe, I feel like I can't get a Vikings jersey because Helen already has a Vikings jersey. But, yeah, we're going to see the Vikings in a few weeks. So if Helen didn't have one, I'd get a Vikings jersey already, you know? Because they're also a cool color. Like, honestly, I'm literally picking jerseys off the colors, you know? trying to pick some of the funner color ones. The offer still stands. Okay, if you... I'm actually cheering for the Vikings this week. I think they'll, I think it's going to be a fun game. I think, it's going to be really interesting. I want to believe the Vikings have it. They can pick up where they left last week. The Broncos. See, the Broncos also have orange jerseys, though, and I already have an orange one. You know? Ay. We'll definitely be cheering for the Vikings when we go see them as well, because, I mean, I don't think any sane person could possibly cheer for the Browns. So, we'll definitely be cheering the Vikings on that day. You know, Helen's also a Titans fan. I know, feel her pain. Helen's a Titans fan. Obviously, you know, we just got married, and the Titans have a quarterback called Ward. I was like, you gotta get a Titans jersey, because you can literally just have Ward on the back, and you know, now it's your name, and then you know, it's like their jersey too. But it can also just be your jersey when he turns out to suck. You know. You lived in Cleveland your entire life. Yeah, okay. Like if you live there, then I understand it. But like, of all the teams to possibly cheer from, if you don't live there, like surely you could like the Browns. It's just not a thing, you know. Now there's Oracle popping off. ShoWTimE getting damage done early. Good way to turn the momentum in the series a bit if you can capitalize on this. herO is coming across the map looking for some value himself. As Oracle goes big, man. 12 workers. A lot of lost mining time. Like herO's not mining during this, which is a big deal as well. Now ShoWTimE. And he's going to run all the way back in his main. He's being chased by an Oracle, but the battery is about to finish, and that battery would make a big deal. We actually lose. Oh my god, hero's going AFK Stalker. Well, he's actually, no, he's not AFK. He's going after the pylon specifically, trying to shut down the gates. Like, battery in the mineral line is huge for ShoWTimE. It's really providing the defense that he needs right now. I think herO would have been better if he actually didn't chase those units so far back, and instead, nice block with the warp, and instead just full focus the pylon, actually. I think that would have been a much better approach. Even Brand's the fact this on his GG's this hero. Yeah, he lost too much trying to attack, didn't get anything going there. Yeah. You're a Titan fan too, he's gonna be paying for like 3 more years. The worst part for Helen is like, you know, the Titans were like, remember the Titans blew the lead against the Chiefs, right? They were like, it was, what year was that? Was that 2020? Hey, no, they didn't blow the lead against the Chiefs. Was that I can't remember who that was, but they played the Chiefs, and it was actually a pretty good game in the playoffs. I think it was 2020. That was like the last time the Titans were reasonable, right? Like, you know, they made playoffs and stuff. Helen became a fan of the Titans like the year after that, so it's just been pure misery. She's just been she became a Titans fan just in time for them to just not be good. Yeah. We saw the Titans against the Ravens in London a couple of years ago as well. It was I mean, it wasn't actually as bad of a game as it could have been. But I feel like the Ravens should have won by like a whole lot more points, so yeah. A fun one. feel bad for Cleveland fans. You already live in Cleveland. Why does the sport team's got to double down the punching? See, like, yeah. That's brutal, no? That's brutal. Alright, guys. We have a couple minutes break here. This is the point where we take a couple minutes between games. So ShoWTimE gets a map, and then a 3-minute break. Mainstream will take a few moments. We'll get back on track. Exciting. We got all the NFL talk going on. Who are you guys, which games are you guys excited for today? It's a fun day of games today, no? I think there's some really fun ones. I also started 1-0 in both my fantasy leagues, so I'm looking for the 2-0s today as well. I played Josh Allen in both my fantasy leagues today, so I'm like, for the first time ever, if the Jets could just be good for like one day somehow and just stop Josh Allen for like one day, and like this feels like cashing in on my miracle, but like, if we could just, even if we just keep him at 20 points, I'd be okay with it, you know, like, just don't let him have a monstrous day, you know? Which games are you excited for? Yes, yeah, that's me. I'm just excited for everything. Like I say, like last week we still had like Kevin, Halston, and Irene here, so we watched it, but like I was like explaining like a lot of what was going on and stuff. So today's like the day. It's like it feels like week 1 for me, where it's like I get to sit down, and just like sit and enjoy for like a bunch of hours straight, you know. Very exciting. Do it properly. Halston and Irene were forced into being NFL fans for one day as well. Have we got NFL Sunday ticket? We have, in the UK, we have Game Pass. And we just get to see everything. It's pretty OP. It's, for what we pay for it, it's insane. Compared to what you have to pay in America. We see every single game, no matter where it's broadcast. On any platform, primetime, or anything. Plus a bunch of other stuff. And it's like, it's not even $200 a year. It's actually crazy. For how much we get out of it, it's such a good deal. I'm married now, which means I can go full husband mode and just shirk housework for watching football. Well, that's the best part. That's why it's good that Helen's into it, because we just clear out Sunday evenings. We never do anything on a Sunday evening. I mean, annoyingly, in 2 weeks' time, we have to fly home from our little mini honeymoon thing. On a Sunday evening, it's like the worst possible time for the flight. We literally take off like just as the games are all starting, and we land literally as like all of the games are ending or something. It's so annoying. The timing is horrendous. Very sad. Maybe we don't actually. Maybe we don't take off as. Maybe we land at like 1:30. Maybe we actually will get to watch some of the games in the airport. The first. Maybe we'll be able to watch the early window in the airport or something. Anyways, these games are back and resuming. As we kick off into the top left, it's herO, in the bottom left, it's ShoWTimE. And we got ourselves ShoWTimE getting a map win there. The Oracle getting in, getting a good amount of damage done, putting himself in a good position, and really kind of dragging the series a little bit back onto his side just for a moment or two before it gets too much worse. So, able to drag this back a little bit. What's up on the YouTube chat as well, DT? How you doing? Saying good morning from sunny California. Good morning to you. Good to see you. Thanks so much for dropping by and enjoying some StarCraft 2 with us today. We appreciate you. As a gate and a couple of simulators will start up for a few moments. Getting underway with that. Alright, well, gates coming through on either side. Probes on the production tab. Get up and running here. And he is refusing to move on his camera. I thought Funker quite bad. I thought the Funker cam at all this event. I think they actually have a dedicated obs on the French stream. I think one of them's observing while the other guys are casting, so probably makes sense to follow them. Cybercore going to be finishing probes in production. Let's have the probe going back the other way. A couple stalkers coming about the sentry in the warp gate building on the other side. So we get set up for the next few moments here. little probie just going to chase another probie for a little bit as well. Looking for a little bit of opportunity there. See the sentries in the warp gate continue to build about. Sentry going to go after the probe for a few moments as well. Taking a chance to make some plays. Getting a couple stalkers in the Twilight Council building for the moment, so we continue to bring that online and get that into place here. Couple stalkers and that walk gate still coming through for the moment. Next is building. Twilight Council still very much so on the way in. We've got a couple stalkers already to poke at the front, so ShoWTimE going to put some pressure on. Obviously, we're on a later expand here for ShoWTimE. Oh, that's not good. The force field's going to trap those stalkers in. Obviously, he doesn't want to fight because of the battery. Guardian Shield goes up as well, which means that sentry will not go down. ShoWTimE can't get anything out of this, and he's going to lose every stalker. Oh, that's devastating. That is so bad. 4 stalkers for nothing. And herO immediately warping in across the map as he has a pylon there. Going to add a gateway on. He's going to add pressure. herO's going to be slowing the Twilight Council in the blink, but that might not matter. This game might not last that long. As ShoWTimE only just started battery on the natural now as well. There may be some time to make some picks before that battery is done even. This is getting extremely scary extremely quickly, to be honest, guys. I'm not loving it. There's going to be the extra sentries coming in from behind. That damage output is big. Force field's coming down. We actually get rid of the sentry of ShoWTimE. It will go down to those adepts. 1 force field in the back. First stalker goes down. Battery now just finishing. Obviously, wall-off is good to stop the adept shading through. New warp-ins will be added, and this is where the trouble's going to come from. Dark Shrine as well. herO has ShoWTimE under a lot of pressure, and a Dark Shrine is something that ShoWTimE is just not going to be able to prep for, while still maintaining the units he needs to try and defend here. There's a warp-in, a couple more adepts actually being added on from ShoWTimE, trying to be a buffer in the front, but they're just going to get caught immediately. He thought maybe herO had backed off. Not the case, as you can see, and that means those 2 adepts go down freely. That's just going to be GG. ShoWTimE does not have enough. herO with the strike and the delivery for a 3-1 lead and match point in this best of 7, a map away from seeing Serral in the next round of this lower bracket. Serral, who dropped 3-0 to herO yesterday in one of the least Serral-like series of all time. Crazy. Alright guys, we'll take a couple moments, we'll ready ourselves up. Ultra Love going to be the map for map 5 of the best of 7, guys. Like I said, it is best of 7s. Good for ShoWTimE, but now he's got to win 3 in a row. Definitely odds stacked against you a little bit. herO's just looked so solid and comfortable in these games today is the problem. He's looked kind of just great throughout. There's been no stopping him. Ready GLHF, go being called. We get ready to jump into Ultra Love in a couple of moments. 3, 2, 1, and go. Get ready to settle into this. Can ShoWTimE stay in the competition? Will herO venture to a matchup against Serral? The bottom left-hand side. The red Protoss player is ShoWTimE. What we have in the top right, the blue Protoss, is going to be herO. I'm just going to get the assemblies coming through and get this game underway. Assembly coming by, just get those gates coming online. And just getting the Sabbath core coming through, getting a little bit of everything going. Pro going to get nibbled at for a little bit as well. Nothing really too wild just yet, obviously. We are seeing no second gateway from ShoWTimE. So using this map with the ramp to expand quickly, does herO want to punish that? I mean, there's already a pylon on the map. It's not super proxy, but the probe stays near it, so there's potential to hide something there. Pop another gate down. And I'm just going to see the gate, wolf gates coming up, a couple stalkers moving through. Stargate will build. I'm just going to have ourselves the couple units moving about for a couple of seconds here. Next, it's going to build on both sides as well. Sentries, warp gate all building. Now next is coming through. Next is in the warp gate coming up from ShoWTimE as well. We're going to see the Stalker there chasing the Adept away for a couple of moments. So just going to push that straight back. And we continue to just wait and see where we're kind of going here. Adept and the Zealot together. We'll get a few shots and pushes around. Little recall coming back. Sentry's going to go into the probe for a couple of seconds. Got a damage being done there. Stalker's going to be there. Oracle gets turned around a little. Sentry going to be there. Oracle taking some damage. The Oracle getting pushed away a teeny tiny bit. The Oracles are going to try and keep ShoWTimE with some opportunities here. Oracles get in. Obviously the probe is going to get jumped on. A couple of workers are going to take damage right off the bat. Stalker's going to be there, hit the Oracles. Adept's going to shade through. Full Stalker in the center. He's going to try and fire as the Adepts want to get some workers. 3 workers going down. herO taking some damage. Going to lose a 4th, and obviously some mining time alongside it. He's down a few workers here. Going to be on a little bit of a faster blink. I mean, we're overall just kind of leveling things out so far. Nexus of heroes a little sooner as well, so that will help him play catch up on some of the numbers here. Stalkers is the main. I'm going to go after a pylon. Begin to go after that. Pylon goes down. Gate gets depowered. We will just see the Stalkers into the back. Stalkers will continue to move about. Probes get back to mining. The Stalkers will recall for a few moments. lot of stalkers up to the top. Charge and the +1 still building through as well. Going to see an Oracle going down. It's going to be picked. The charge and the +1 still building as well. That's going to be seeing ShoWTimE actually getting bullied a little bit right now. And push back pretty comfortably. herO, no problem at all, chasing this away. His zombie supply is significantly better, and he's already got charge and +1 on the way. It's really not looking good for ShoWTimE. Stalkers coming down the bottom left, so we continue to go for the push here. Charging the +1 building, like I say, for ShoWTimE that's coming, but it's not ready yet. Does herO have a way to reinforce here? If he did, it would have been very scary. He's going to knock the rocks down. Patch off this position for the moment at least. He'll start maybe working for a different direction. Supplies still favoring herO. He's actually just going to knock these rocks down again, so he actually just wanted to make it so that ShoWTimE couldn't knock the rocks down defensively as he's pushing. We're going to take that opportunity away from him. Stasis wards obviously will do a lot for ShoWTimE here potentially as well. Will limit what you can commit in as. Stalker still gathering, again charging the +1 building. A couple extra gates in the Nexus coming online. Ooh, that Stasis right there is not going to catch just yet. More weapons coming through. Result Stalker on the way. Armor upgrade building. Armies are going to begin to fight as we just have these units trading out. Nexus coming down on that bottom side. Fix Result's going to warp in. It's a good concave from herO as well. Not only does he have more, he's got the better position. Despite being the aggressor, I mean, now he's getting a little bit more choked up. Obviously, he can just sit on the other side of this Nexus. If he isn't killing the units, he can kill the Nexus off and take a 4th base advantage. He's just going to step through. He knows the opportunity he's got. He's going to let the Zealots sift through as well. And they are going to be tanky units that you just can't really afford to spend time fighting here. As ShoWTimE Pylon goes down, the battery's depowered. We could turn onto the Nexus. Looks like we will for the safety play. ShoWTimE running out of time in this best of 7. It is looking like we're getting to a close sooner rather than later. As a new Nexus starts up on the left side as well. Get that underway. A couple more Stalkers warping in. Stasis is going to catch Zealot Stalker. All probes going down. ShoWTimE going to make an effort of it, attacking across the map, finding this top left base of herO. Who still just has that army supply lead though, and just from now continue to push it back. So let's keep trading. A couple more Zealots going down. Next, still taking some shots. Zealots still pushing through. The Stalkers continue to gather up. To attack the Observer on the way. A few probes coming around. A few extra Zealots warping in as well. We are going to see these Stalkers still pushing up. A few more shots coming through, and herO is going to take the game and the series. He advances through. We'll battle against Serral in the next round. 4-1 over ShoWTimE. Confident rebound for him after losing to ShoWTimE in the group stages, and he looked good here, to be honest. He just looked good through and through. GG. Alrighty, guys, I think we're going to take a couple moments, take a break. I'm going to come back. More StarCraft will be coming up. We're going to go... I have like probably an hour and 20, 25 minutes, so we're going to start herO Serral. I might have to leave partway through the series. If that's the way, then that's the way. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in just a few. herO and Serral up next. Serral versus herO coming up, guys. Like I say, we're going to do... If they start in the next... I mean, we're probably not going to get through the full best of 7, because I don't think this best of 7 is going to be an hour. I think it's going to be a bit longer, to be honest. But I'll be here for the first hour or so, and obviously there's a lot of other English streams, so when I tap out, there'll be another place I can send you guys to kind of obviously keep on watching the games. And we will do that when we get to that sort of point, so... Just a little heads up. Just a little heads up. Cool. So yeah, we're just waiting for Vito's. They've just started that herO run the coin flip, so he's going to get server preference in this best of 7. Winner goes to Paris in a couple of weeks' time. Okay, get that underway. Wardy's a Bengals fan. Alright, I have this conversation every time I come back from break, apparently. I have no specific allegiance to any NFL team, so when I got a jersey, I really just picked one that I thought was a cool color. Hence the Bengals. Out of the teams I like, I mean... Bengals are fun to watch. Well, they've been fun to watch the last few years, so... This is not some kind of, like, lifetime, lifetime allegiance. I mean, the cool thing about watching NFL with no allegiance is you can just watch all the games and just cheer for whoever's been fun to watch in that year. It's just, it's fun. It's fun. So, yeah. We already had a discussion. I was talking about which, what my next jersey was going to be. Not sure. Not sure. Am I thinking of maybe getting a Rams jersey? Because we're going to see, me and Helen are going to see 2 NFL games this year. Both 2 of the London games. And the second one is Rams Jags. Jags also have a cool jersey, to be honest. Jags jersey's a cool color. So... A Sanders jersey next year. We already talked about the Browns, man. I already explained... that we're not, that's hard to be a Browns fan when you're not, when you're a neutral party. Hey, what's up? SE2 is live 97. Thank you so much for the fresh new subscription. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting the stream. Super appreciate that. Thank you. Love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. That reminds me, I was just going to check something on my email quickly. What happened to Classic? Visa problems? No, he just has health issues. Can't travel, he says. I already talked about that one extensively early on as well. That's not so bad. Cool. Oh, map 1 is up. I just need cameras from the guys. I should be able to zoom off into this Serral herO best of 7, man. Exciting. Who has the worst jersey? Ooh, who has the worst jersey? I don't know if anyone has a particular worst jersey. There's some boring jerseys, you know, like I say, my jersey I kind of picked on just like what I think looks fun, and to me, if I'm gonna get a jersey, like, I may as well get like a fun, colorful one, right? Who actually has the worst jersey? There's some alternate jerseys that look kind of grim, to be honest. They're the ones that keep popping up in my mind. I'm trying to think. Falcons most boring, or just black? Black with like some very light tints of red. Yeah. Falcons are pretty boring. I mean, Cowboys are kind of boring too. Yeah, because I feel like both the Cowboys, because it's either white or it's like dark blue. And to me, dark blue is a very like boring color as well, no? So like both of their jerseys are like, both of their main colors are also just like very, you know? Who else is boring or bad? I don't know if anyone has bad jersey. I'm trying to think. Like the Cardinals are the same, like just like it's just red, or it's just they also play in white, right? So kind of boring too. Yeah. Yeah. Players readying up. We have 3 minutes apparently. Okay. Let me just grab Serral's camera as well. Thanks, Serral. herO, what a treat. Hell yeah. No, it should be really good. Looking forward to it. Let me sort out Serral's camera. He's red, right? Yes, he's red. Perfect. A little easier. I'm trying to go through. I feel like the Commander's jersey is also like, if you don't like that color red, the gold tint's kind of nice though, I guess. Very preference based. I'm gonna get a list of teams up now so I can try and think. I don't really like Carolina jersey, I guess. Carolina's kind of like just a light blue. Yeah. The black and blue's kind of cool though. Maybe the Giants kind of suck as well. I don't know if like obviously none of them really suck, right? Because like surely like teams are smart enough to make jerseys which don't look good, right? So it's mostly just preference of what colors you like or what you think is interesting / versus boring or something, you know? Alright. Cameras are up, so we're really just waiting for the mainstream to be ready. Those like the Seahawks colors? Yeah, they're pretty cool colors as well. That's what I mean, it all just comes down to what colors you like, doesn't it? Colts, Giants, Jets, yeah. All just like boring, like similar colors. I feel like the Jets looks good sometimes. I don't like it when they're like overly green. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they almost have too much green on. And it looks a bit silly. Like that green, the Jets green gets kind of like lost as soon as you have too much of it. I actually think that green's really nice if they have black alternates and they have like the green tinted on it. Then it looks really good. But Green Bay's are the Green Bay jerseys are kind of cool though. I feel like that's a nicer green, and the yellow tint on it, like the yellow cuffs and stuff, is pretty nice. So I feel like the Green Bay one's okay. But that's also just preference, right? Like I think the green and the yellow is like a nice combo. So whereas some other greens are just kind of dull, you know. Old school Pittsburgh jersey, the prison uniforms. Yeah, I'll look into it. All right, players are ready, guys. Countdown is on for Serral versus herO. Like I say, we'll do as much of this as I can, but I realistically have about an hour, maybe a little bit more. So we'll just get through as many games as we can and probably host you guys off at some point, so. If you want a horrific jersey, you want to look at MLB alternates and throwbacks, yeah? Ay. Clearly I need to wear my my Bengals jersey more frequently on a Sunday, guys, because then, gets the chat talking about stuff at least. Instead of these StarCraft 2 streams where we're all sat not talking about StarCraft and everyone's just dead silent for 4 hours, now we have sports talk. Alrighty, let's do some Serral versus herO action. Man, what a treat to watch these two get into play. Imagine we could have seen an EWC but didn't come around. I'm absolutely fascinated as to whether Serral looks in shape in CVP still. I mean, CVP looked monstrous during EWC. And he takes on herO, who has always had such a fun take on kind of PvZ, but EWC not this year, but last year, it was actually where herO looked maybe the best he ever did at PvZ, and he came with such a macro focus, kind of cool style, looked so confident in those games. I feel like he's not looked like that in a while. And to me, that was his best shot at taking down Serral. He was very close. Serral just squeezed out the series against him back then. I don't know if herO matches up as well against Serral in the current day, in the current era, right? So, yeah, I feel as though this is going to be an interesting little match to see where these two are at against each other. We'll see what's happening. I'm like a kindergarten teacher talking about matching colors. Yeah. I know. This is, I mean, but that's what it just comes down to, right? It's like, oh, I think these colors look nice together. All right. The EWC 2024 match was amazing. Probably herO's peak. Yeah, to me, that's what I think too. When you talk about herO's PvZ, it's hard for me not to mention that tournament. But like I say, it was almost like a different herO as well. Like that was absolutely like herO who could play late game PvZ to an extremely ridiculously good level, and it was so wild because no one. I talked about this a lot this year at EWC because last year no one really expected herO to come in and to play like that, right? We expected herO to come in to play like herO, and he didn't. He looked incredible, which is why he came into EWC this year. I was like, oh my god, I've got no idea what to expect out of herO, because last year when he showed up at EWC, he leveled up. You know, he came in and played so much beyond expectation that it's hard not to think that he might just do it again this year. And he didn't. Right? The games he played were solid, but it was not the different kind of style. It was exactly what we expected of herO. Last year really was just an anomaly where I feel like he just figured PvZ out and was like, huh, I figured this out. I'm going to save this for the biggest tournament of the year. Really didn't feel the same way this time around. And just like I say, came in playing a lot of the stuff we expected him to be playing. As we get this game number 1 of the best of 7 up and running. Where is Serral? That's not Serral's home. It says cabin. I actually don't know where it is. Maybe it's his new home. Maybe he moved out. Maybe he moved out. Talent coming down. Oracle and the Adept coming through. The Warp Gate building up as we take a few moments here. The link speed is not too far from completing. And the Overlord can take a turn away from the main base, pulling back out through the top side of the map and back into the middle. The Adept is going to come shading about for a little bit as well. 2 Adepts join up together, link speed on the way. And again, the few drones on the hatchery continue to come around here. Couple queens still building up as well. Just going to be having the Oracle and the Warp Gate still building. Nexus on the way through. A couple of probies in production as well. And we just have ourselves the Zerglings heading down to the bottom side. As we just have the Warp Gate continue to build up. A couple of Adepts will go shading around. And again, the Twilight Council, the Gateway, the Nexus, a bit of everything on the way through here from herO. A couple of simulators continuing to build. Obviously that Twilight Council going to be what I have our eyes on. It's a Twilight after just 2 Oracles. It's a pretty standard 3rd Oracle coming up, so there's not going to be any kind of overly kind of aggressive play here. We're starting on Maganatha, which is obviously a pretty big map as well. Probably one of the more macro maps we're going to get in this series. So, kind of gives us the opportunity to maybe open with a big game, right? It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out as we just see the couple Oracles will peel away towards the top. You have to really find any damage early. Anytime you see Serral play that early game ZVP, it's really when you have the opportunity to kind of realize early on, you're like, oh my god. But you just kind of recognize, you realize just how freaking good he is, because he just does not take that early game damage that so many other players struggle with, as that is a lag spike from... No one's owning up to it yet. Is that me?
Game paused.
I was going to say, no one's owning up to it. I mean, I said that's me just because it's like, is it actually just on my side? My ping looks kind of normal. No one else was saying anything. I was like, oh my god, is no one else seeing this? But the pause came through. Take a moment or two, and looks like we will resume. I mean, that was seen by everybody. That was not just a herO moment. Might have been Serral. Serral had issues yesterday. He's now very quiet. Might be checking something. Camera messing him up again. Ooh. The cameras, no. Whoop. Oh, it is Serral. I see. Yeah, he might have to turn the camera off. Yep, alright. Better to turn that off and just get some smooth sailing here. So we'll lose a player cam. Otherwise, we'll get back to this and resume into game number 1 of this best of 7. So, losing some camera action, sorry guys, but obviously we'd rather players play with no lag.
Game resumed.
Couple oracles flying through, a couple creep teamers going down, the queens will just be there. Going to be seeing a couple more creep teamers coming about as well. Queen's going to fire, oracle's going to activate a few drones going down, so some damage being done. Going to be seeing the oracle, the few probes, and the assimilator continue to come up as well currently. A few drones going down, just going to see the +1 missiles and that roach speed building up as well, so we get that on the go. Gonna see the couple of lings, obviously not going to get very far. The Stalker's in an immediate position just to deal with that, so no problem at all in that regard. Temple Archives will be starting, and a few extra gateways on the way out. We had Blink to that as well. Oracles will activate. Just see a couple of creep tumors being picked away out here. Just going to get a few of those picked off as the Queens will fire up onto the Oracles also. You can see just trying to replace some of that creep spread. Look at what's been lost this game. 3 drones, 1 Ovi, 1 Ling. It's really, for 6.5 minutes in, not bad at all. And when you consider it's herO who oftentimes finds so much of that damage early in the game, really says a lot about just how comfortable Serral is defending this early aggression, pushing it back, and continuing to put himself into better and better positions time and time again. Oracles and the Stalkers step through. A couple creep tumors will be going down. The Stalkers will clean up a few of those as Storm and the Charge all coming about. There is the Fleet Beacon on the way out right now as well. Stalkers firing, 1 Queen going down. Just going to see the rest of the Stalkers still gathering about there. Storm and the Charge. +1 attack all coming in. The Lings, the Roaches, the Hydras would like to go running after this as well. We will see the units trying to escape on out of there. Storm, +1, Charge, again, a bit of everything coming through and online. Add a couple cannons and a battery into play for now. Continue to get that going. Lings and Hydras continue to settle here. Roach Hydra Ling just going to go for a couple of steps forward, so we take a few moments right now. I'm just going to be seeing the Stalker's going to start getting jumped on a little bit. Storm's already going to have to play defense on the left side. First Hydra splitting away. Serral on 72 drones obviously wants to get a lot out of this. herO's on his way up to the Tempest. To get there, that's going to help eventually, but not going to help straight away as the Ling Roach continues to come through. Well, I'm just going to split apart a few of them. Going to hit that 4th base, try and take that down. We still have a good amount of Storms available. High Templars are healthy when it comes to their energy. And the first Tempest will be out, which obviously starts to put some constant damage output on this army. Serral almost doubling the army supply here with this attack. Only want 1 Storm left, maybe an energy recharge or something to help us out, because we could really do with that. Storm does land. As Serral dove in and killed off the High Templar, the Oracles will begin to drop here to the Hydras in the background. Trying to pull those back to a little bit of safety. We need enough Hydras to fight off the Tempest as well. I don't know if we've got that. Overall, the numbers still very good for Serral. There's very little army supply left for herO in comparison. Just need to make sure we have enough anti-air to fight off the Tempests for the next little bit of time. herO coming up, Hydras and the drones coming through. The +2 missiles and the tunneling claws continue to build as well. We just have the probe going to come across, build the Nexus onto the base, put that in position there. And again, the couple of Tempest shots are going to fire. Roach already taking some damage. Again, +1 air weapons and the +2 attack upgrade building also as the Nexus will go down. A couple of the roaches will get picked away at. Roaches and the Hydra's going to try and push back over. Still denying the fourth, if nothing else is nice. Serral's snuck up to kind of 76 workers from the 72 he started this attack at, so a few drones sneaking in there along the way. Again, the Tempest count is a bit of a problem, perhaps. I mean, at this stage, we might just kind of work our way toward the, as Infestation pick comes up, maybe just Hive and then just make our way to Vipers to abduct some of those Tempests. Cannon there's going to be the detection to stop these Roaches having easy access in. It's a quick warp in to help as well. Roaches will burrow to get through ASAP. Uh-oh. Hydra's just going to find the Tempest completely on their own. Undefended. 2 go down. Fourth base cancelled again. Serral picking herO apart right now. Just those Roaches kind of distracting herO way too much. It's a nice storm, but the Lings are going to close the distance. No storm on the Lings. Still no storm on the Lings. So the Lings actually just get to dominate a little bit at the front. The Hydras did eat the storms, though, which means there's maybe not enough anti-air to keep going. Now the Roaches pop back up in the main base, still looking for more. herO just scrambling together any defense he can find. And Serral still just cranking out. Well, Hydras, Lings, the Hive is building, so we will get some additional tech soon, but not just yet. How much does Serral still want to push the issue right now? The problem is if he lets up the pressure, you give herO a chance to maybe re-establish the High Templar count, a lot of the tech units, maybe even get into a scary Tempest count again. And those are things which I think Serral doesn't want to give herO the chance to get back to, and that's why he's still staying aggressive in this game, but at the same time, continuing to be aggressive introduces problems where you're trying to be aggressive when maybe it is just time to let up and get the tech online and to go from there. I think at this point you wait for Vipers, no? We're moments away from just build 2 Vipers, consume them up. Oh, he's going to throw the Ultra Cavern down immediately. Okay. Just have the 1 Viper in. It's kind of fine too, just going to take a few moments. Ultras will be the follow-up then. We're already building Immortals though from herO, which is absolutely what you want when Ultras are going to be on the way. Immortals really make Ultras look a little bit silly. We have got the 2 Vipers building from Serral. It does take a while. You got to build them, you got to get energy on them, you got to fly them across the map. We're talking about a minute and a half probably overall. I think that minute and a half is worth giving to herO because it does strengthen your attack so much, especially when the Tempests have been such a problem. The big issue may just be the Mothership. That's something which we're not really going to be able to deal with via Vipers. Just going to start attacking now. First Storm doesn't do much of anything. Feelings getting towards that High Templar there. Coming in from 2, 3 sides. Serral, from every ramp possible, is going to make his way up. The High Templar is still not firing there. Are the Storms to the south side? Are the Hydras enough on the right? herO's supply is plummeting. What an attack from Serral. I thought he was going to end up waiting for the Vipers, but he didn't. He set up an amazing surround, and he's going to cancel the 4th base again, but this time, it's not even about the 4th. This time, he truly reset this army of herO to its very core. It is a few Stalkers left over, an energy recharging High Templar, and that is truly about it. So really not much of anything. Mothership, Immortal pressing through. Another Storm coming down. Ling Hydra will step in. Time Morph going to get dropped as well. That train to the top right side. The base coming up. A couple of Vipers are indeed making their way across the map. As you are going to see our units going to start pressing through. A couple of Lings stepping forward. The Vipers nearby. Abducting an Immortal. I mean, at this point, you only need to abduct a couple of things. I don't think the Vipers are that important at this stage. But hey, abducting Immortal straight in is only ever going to help you out, right? I think abducting the Stalkers might be a little unnecessary, to be honest. As hey, those Hydras actually taking some damage off the Mothership. It did okay, but again, it's just numbers game right now. Serral's going to kill the probes here. It's going to be a Stalker warping that will do a lot to shut this down in the end, but herO's playing with sub 50 supply. It's unrealistic to see him winning this one out from here. And Serral, aggression into more aggression into a little bit of tech before more aggression wraps us up. Game number 1 goes to Serral here, opening this best of 7 strong. Alright, we will head to a game 2 in a couple of moments, waiting for this lobby to come online for us and get that underway for our second game of this BO7. Serral with that 1-0 lead, doing what Serral does best, which really was... I mean, sometimes what Serral does best is the late game, but he took control of this game. He played well, and he identified the moments to step back. You know, there was no real moment where I was like, oh, Serral overstepped the mark there a little bit. Like, every time he fought, he got value out of it. And when he stepped back, it felt like he stepped back in with truly a better army. I was impressed when he picked that fight from all sides, because to me, I think so many people would be like, my Vipers are about to be here, right? So give me another 30, 40 seconds. My Vipers are here. We'll go from there. Serral just identifies the chance to just have a ton more units and just to come from all sides, and then the Vipers are more of a backup to that fight, rather than being necessary for that fight. So very cool stuff as we ready ourselves to pile on for game 2 in, like I say, just a moment or so here. Serral and herO. Second game is pretty much ready to go. Just waiting for a couple of players. Just waiting for the admins to move people into the right slots. Players need to be in the player slots. Right now it's about to be me versus Steadfast, which, believe it or not, is probably not going to be pretty. So that's not the StarCraft you guys want to watch today. I can tell you guys that much for sure. Ready GLHF is getting called. Go is getting called. Getting ready to hop into Pylon here in just a few moments. Steadfast is GM. Yes, he is GM on NA. Does GM count for much in this day and age? On NA? What MMR do you need for GM? Not to discredit Steadfast, but I feel like being GM is very especially on, at least from what I understand, I feel like NA GM is like 4.4, 4.5k MMR sometimes. Kind of crazy, no? I don't know what MMR Steadfast is at, but it's kind of sad how low, how easy it can be to get into GM nowadays. When you think back to what it used to be like. If it is like 4.4 for 5, 4.4, 4.5 for reference, like, I never made GM in my life, but I've been like 900 MMR above that in the past. 4.7-ish. I mean, that's still kind of, like, to me, being to me, GM is, like, to me, 5k is a milestone. That comes before GM, right? Oh, that's kind of crazy. You're stuck at 4.1, you're saying there's a chance? Yeah. I mean, in this day and age, apparently so. Yeah, GM is, it's kind of wild, because I feel like if I wanted to, I could push and get GM if I felt like it, but, like, you know, when I have no drive to do this, specifically because I just don't think it would feel good, you know? Like, in the past, getting GM would have been incredible. Nowadays, I just don't feel like it would feel like anything, you know? Tell you what is going to feel like something. There's 12 pool drone pull. Serral, talk about getting a little bit cheeky here, is going across the map, and you know what herO's done, guys? The no scout. This is over. You don't win this game as herO unless you royally screw up the micro here as Serral. I would bet against that that's ever going to happen. This should be a guaranteed win. Like, there's no unit on the way. The pylon dies. This game ends. GG. Serral 2, herO 0. Fun build, but it was the perfect build, actually. I don't know if that's just a tendency herO has that Serral latches onto and punishes, but that is one way to make this a 2-0 lead. Serral's like, wait, Wardy only has 1 hour? Hold up, I got you guys. You can watch the full series. Yeah. What a build choice from Serral, and just like I say, I mean, you know what? He didn't even need the drone pull. This game is over without the drone pull because herO just has no scout. So, yeah. Good punish there from Serral, as we now have a 2-0 lead, and just like that, we are kind of looking at a bit of a miserable position here for herO. Going to Sandworm for map 3. That really is not a fun one to lose. That's kind of the joy of best of 7s, where you're kind of like, you want to up, and you're like, you know what? Even if I lose this game, it's like, it's still a best of 5, and as Serral, you got to feel good about that. And you can see like a little bit more liability thrown into some of these builds. Like, there's a lot of times where herO plays in such a way that this build gets shut down before it even begins. But in this case, it was the perfect risk, and again, you've got room to kind of play with in the series still as well, right? So it really does pay off for you. Sandworm for map 3 of this best of 7. In the top right-hand corner, Serral. Unlikely to do the same again. And Pylon is a shorter rushed map as well, which is probably part of the reason you go for it. As herO in the bottom left is the blue Protoss player. He's down 0-2. He's got some digging to do to get out of this ditch he finds himself in right now. Time to try and find a way out of here. Overlord, Probe, Pylon. A little bit of everything coming through for a few moments as we get settled down. Gateway and the Probe coming up, add the drone on as well. Gate and the gas coming through as well. Probe across the map, scouting this time. Serral already puts the hatchery down in plenty of time, so no blocking going to be done. And herO just going to be getting there to see that Serral is not up to any mischief going into a game 3 at least. Hatch gas, spawning pool, everything is pretty much as regular as it can get for the moment. Next is dropping down, so we get that underway. Cybercore, Nexus, just continue to pull about. It's going to be seeing the probe coming through, the assimilator coming around. And Cybercore, and so going to come about for now as the couple queens and the lings will continue to build up just for the moment. Second speed, drones and queens. We'll continue to build. The Stargate and the Nexus continues to get going. The Adept is going to be continuing through. And yeah, the Stargate going to be finishing up. In a few moments' time, the Warp Gate will build. The link speed about halfway done. Couple queens. We'll see what the Stargate coming up. We'll see what herO can find. Gotta recall that first game defense from Serral, just so solid against the Oracles, not letting them do really anything. Like, you know, 6.5 minutes, 3 drones, a Ling and an Overlord. It's such minimal damage. And like I say, it's minimal damage against most players, but then you're talking about herO, who constantly finds so much damage because his control is so good. And it's hard not to kind of gush a little bit over Serral in that scenario where he's just so consistently able to pull out that defense and just limit what can be done early. Look at this game from Serral, man. He is going wild with the build orders. This is a fast 2-base lair. What a completely wild choice to go into here. Is this a Nidus or is this something else? I mean, we have 4 queens, nothing else just yet. Link speed done. Hatchery now starts. Few links start up. Nidus is my first go-to. I mean, how much gas are we on? We're on just 1 gas, so it can't really be any 2-base lair tech. This Phoenix is going to come in, look for an Overlord, but more importantly, I think this Phoenix would love a scout and does see the lair. I wonder if that changes a little bit of Serral's plan. Now he takes 2 more gases on the natural. Is there a world he throws down a Spire? Like, those gases did not seem super quick, but he's going to have the gas to go straight into a Spire if he wants to. So does Hydroden. This is something he did a while back as well, right? There was a time where the 2-base Hydroden was a little bit of a thing in ZVP, and Serral used it on a rare occasion. To me, and this probably makes a lot more sense than the Spire, and also the gas adds up a little bit more favorably for that as well. Oracle gets rid of a couple creep teamers. The Queen's there to try and play the zone. Lings will see the fast third next from herO, so he's not afraid, man. Should he be afraid, actually? Like, Ling Hydra starts to build here. Hydra speed is on the way. Oracles are going to try and find stasis wards. Serral not going to respond to this stasis ward. Half a mineral line and a queen getting caught when you're playing a low eco build. That's a significant portion of your economy shut down for a while here. Another couple of drones in the gas that got caught as well. So we're seeing these oracles and stasis wards really putting work in right now. I don't know if I love this second Stargate. Is that a read thinking that this is a Spire when obviously we can see that it is not a Spire? Depth Shade into Lings and Hydras here. He did not know about the Hydra Den until just now, I believe. Unless is he still just going to go for this Stargate? I feel like that's crazy if he does. He's adding on cannons. Static defense obviously will have a lot to say about this. The Oracle, I mean, in theory, Serral just needs enough anti-air to make sure the Oracles are not too much of a problem. There's going to be 4 on the map, going to 5. I mean, these Oracles can overwhelm. Realistically, like, these Oracles can get to an overwhelming point where they can actually fight low numbers of Hydras. So maybe this is the right call, especially because Serral's shown up with honestly not that many Hydras just yet. We can't let these Hydras die to Adepts. You've got to keep every single Hydra alive here. Here come the Oracles. They're going to commit in. The Hydras go running. Yeah, they know what's up. They realize they can't take that fight. The Lings are just left to fight the Adepts. Serral thinks about turning around, decides not to. I think this one is coming crashing down on Serral. That was a perfect defense from herO. The choice for more Oracles was spot on because he knew that Serral couldn't afford that many Hydras, especially with some of the drones on gas being caught in stasis and so on. He knew that he couldn't afford that many Hydras, so more Oracles became the answer. And the second Stargate doubled down on it was crazy too. So I actually thought he didn't necessarily know about the Hydra Den. I think he did know about the Hydra Den. He just felt like he had the perfect answer for it. Alright guys, it's going to be ad break time here from the main stream. So we'll run 3 minutes and then get back into this series. It'll be 4 or 5 minutes probably for the next game. After 3 maps, they do just take this little bit of a longer break. 4 minutes is what we are being called. So 4 minutes, we'll get back to this, guys. So take a couple seconds here. Take a breather. This is your chance to step away for a moment as well as herO brings a map back. Serral leading 2-1 in this best of 7. He needs 2 to qualify him to Paris. What happened to Classic? Did he leave the tournament? He forfeited, yes. Like I said, guys, just take a couple moments here. Get into the lobby. Don't got a lobby link, but I'll find my way in anyway. And get going for game 4 in a moment. Obviously, Serral a chance to move up to 3-1 with a win here onto match point. herO to tie it up would obviously do a lot to reset this series. Serral clearly not afraid of throwing a couple of different things out there so far as well. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, Persephone. Gonna be the map, so we know that much at least. Bum 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 bum. Da, 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 da. We should be about 1 minute away, guys. Serral taking a moment as well, so once he's in here, I think we're pretty much going to be ready to go. So I'll take a quick sauna break. Everything dropped. I think we're just trying to get Serral in here and we should be good to resume, guys. Thank you for your patience. Just getting this set up. Appreciate you guys taking a few moments. Serral joins us. Ready is asked, and we should be ready to go into game 4 here in a couple of moments. Ready in GLHF, says herO. Waiting for Serral to give us the same. And he says, go, go. I got to kick this off, guys. Then Serral would be naked. Maybe that's why he turned the camera off. He faked the lag so he could sauna it while playing. 200 IQ. 200 IQ. Go to Persephone. In the bottom left, with the advantage still, of course, our red Zerg player. Leading 2-1 will be Serral. Top left, bringing one back. Good choices. His aggression was the defense in that last game. Love to see it. The Adepts being aggressive, the Oracle stays thwarting. The good choice of how to deal with it all. After he threw Serral off, the Oracle's overwhelmed and able to make a map win for herO in this best of 7. Want to see some Swarm Host action? Hey, not a bad map for Swarm Hosts. A little bit of left side, right side ledges you can utilize. Not sure we're going to see it, but not a bad call if you want to see some. Maybe Persephone could be it. I think the biggest problem with Swarm Hosts on this map is that once Swarm Hosts are used, it's a little bit too easy just to attack directly down into your opponent afterwards, right? Or up into your opponent. But in this case, mostly down from herO's point of view. Is this the final? No, this is the lower bracket round 2. So this is top 6 of the tournament. The winner of this moves into top 4 and will play in the offline finals in Paris. The loser of this is not eliminated because Classic forfeited. The loser of this actually gets a second chance. Will play against Zoun for that final spot in Paris. Nexus in production, Cybercore building, hatch in the pool still coming up. Hatch, gas, and spawning pool all on the way in. Nexus and Cybercore will build and get that settled down for a few moments. We'll finish this up against Cybercore. Still building about. Nexus halfway done. Target will build. No surprises just yet, really. Kind of an eye on Serral's build order, to be honest. 2 games in a row, some funky stuff from him. Do they play against Zoun today? Yes, the loser of this plays against Zoun today. This is the last match. That will be the last match before everything else is played offline. Like I say, we will definitely not cover that match because I might still not make it to the end of this series, depending on how long it takes from here. But other streams will be covering it. Like I said, I'll host you guys up over to someone covering that when we get to that stage. Healings will go moving about. With the Stargate coming online, the Wargate building. Things in the Wargate all building up. This is going to nibble. Overworld will take some damage. Link speed still building through. Have the Oracle and the Warp Gate building for now. Hatchery and the drones coming online. The Oracle still very much so coming through here. I think it's actually kind of a fun unit to get out of that Stargate, and hero's been building a couple of times now, so Oracle into Phoenix, and decide what he wants to do next. Not continue with Stargate unit production just yet. He has the gas and the minerals for it, so going to see if he decides to build it at some point. Twilight and the Forge goes down first. If it was just an Oracle into this, it'd maybe scream Glaives, but because it's a Phoenix as well, maybe not quite the case. So the Queen's going to shoot. Oracle will take a few shots. Some missiles coming in. Land the Rotron coming up as well. Facility getting the Observer coming through. Robobay going about. Robo Facility dropping down. Charge on the +1 building. The Adepts are going to commit. Or at least threaten to commit. And of course, a little bit of lost mining time. Shutting the wall off there with the drone as well. Serral tries to make sure that this can't do much of anything. The Robobay really is such a fun choice at this point of the game. I guess we're rushing up toward Colossus. Serral going to go straight to Infestation Pay. I love that because it means that he's going to have access to move in toward the... He has access to move into towards Hive, and obviously Vipers would be very good against the Robobay units, especially in a game where there's no Temple Archives yet, so there's no feedbacks to play against the Vipers with also. I did Den too, so it does just look like we head straight in towards like Viper Lurker. And like I say, I think honestly, Serral will be pretty happy with what he's up against for the moment at least. What's up? Silentcast HD, thanks for using your Prime on the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for priming us up. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it. 10+1 on the charge going through. Senate Dumble lines of building. The Prism and the Colossus coming up as well. Now Robobay getting that extended thermal lens on the go. Oracle coming through. A couple of creep teamers getting picked away at. Prism, etc. on the way out as well here. And a couple of creep teamers are being knocked down at the moment. Some creep spread being cleaned out. Temple Archives, the Gateways, the Colossus. Building for now. Couple of gates still coming online as well. Not far from seeing the Hive kicking into play. And Immortals, the Temple Archives building up also. And just seeing the Ling Roach still gathering out the front. Couple of Zerglings getting chased away. The Adept shot's going to be good. Fleet Beacon on the way up. As herO definitely looking for the later stages. Storm now on the way too. I think there's going to be a timing window here for Serral. But he can hit with Vipers maybe just before Storm finishes. It's going to be pretty close. Storm might be... I guess with Chrono Boost, Storm might actually be done in time. It'd be big for herO to help him to fend this off. This upcoming fight could be dangerous. Depends how many High Templar there are as well. A couple mortals need to be not trapped, realistically. Feedbacks are going to be super important too. If you can feedback down the Vipers, then you can do a lot towards kind of fixing the problem before it becomes a problem, I suppose. All the upgrades finishing up from Serral as well, so it's all lining up. Maxed out, Vipers ready, upgrades done. Pretty much time to go. Oracle on that far right hand side. Can activate, get rid of a Zergling. And there's the rest of the units moving their way up towards the top of the map. Ready to push in. A couple of depth shots, getting rid of a Zerglin already as well. Say this is what's going to come down to. Storm's available. The Storm's going to force Serral to split. That's 3 of the Storms going down. Now they killed a High Templar, forces the Archon. Remember, the Vipers have stayed back, and we don't have any energy right now for feedbacking. Okay, there's actually a couple High Templars still left, so maybe we do have some feedbacks available. We abduct in 2 Immortals and the Phoenix. The Phoenix I don't love so much about being abducted. There's the Roaches. Standing decently strong at the front. I think herO's making a good enough attempt at this. I think the problem here for Serral is that he didn't get rid of that Colossus. So that Colossus is going to stand strong. herO is going to come out of this with a much better teched army. If Serral's rebuild is going to be focused on Roaches, I don't know if I love that for him. He's going to drop an Ultra Cavern as a follow-up now, but I just don't think this is going the direction he really wants it to. What's up, Lanchan? Thank you so much. 40-month resub on the Prime as well as we take a breather from that fight. Good defense from herO. I really feel like the abduct on the Phoenix, I wonder what he was trying to click that he hit the Phoenix for instead. Because there's no way he wanted to abduct the Phoenix in there. The Colossus would have been a major target. Getting the Immortals to the front was nice too. Obviously the Storms being able to be used nice and quickly also helped out herO a whole bunch. Getting some damage onto that army right off the get-go was a big deal. Big positive for sure, as the Ultraless Cavern will be finishing in the next few moments. Get that Ultra Cavern up, and maybe that's a little bit of a shift in what you're building that can help you out a little bit. So I'm trying to work around a couple of different sides currently. We're just stepping up, Begins going down, the Overseer going down as well. Abduct on that Immortal. It's going to be a second abduct to get the kill, but still value, and that's what you're looking for here as Serral. Efficient trades with an inefficient army, and then switching into Ultras at some point to try and maybe make a surging attack following the fight. Probably is most likely the go-to right now for Serral in this situation. So this spreading out, he does have a good amount of the map, taking a 5th base. That's introduction Spire as well. Serral definitely knowing like this army he currently has is not going to work out. Bling stepping through Roach Hydra going to be there. Hydra's get rid of the Prism on the left side. That's a major catch. As just these units over here, I'm not convinced they're going to be able to find a good escape plan. The Vipers can't get forward because of the High Temple either, so we're just going to lose units there. At least you don't have the Prism hitting your main base during this. That part really is the wonderful story for Serral, who has Infestors on. Ultras coming up, like I say, starting to enter a much later stage army now. Tightness about to finish. +3 at Carapace, +1 melee. Building up, couple of cannons in good positions, playing defense. Roach is still trying to push through. A couple of times they're going to shoot. Hydra's going to be there. I mean, that's a good defense from herO. I think Serral's happy to lose some of these units because he's looking to rebuild anyway. Let's see the link and nibble up this Nexus. So herO taking his own 5th base. herO just walks right across the map. This is nice, unless these Ultras really don't get answered well, which, to be fair, I think there's Immortals enough to deal with it. The Zealot's going to try and get through. Serral launching a counterattack of his own. Losing the base already is a bit rough. Now, Serral does have the gold base on the far right of the map, so that's something you can mine from still. Gonna pop the cloak in here. The Ultras are readying up their attack. Overseers are ready. In we go. Storms will not be as effective now. Fungal going down as well to stop the retreat. So the Ultras really are able to connect on that army, and herO maybe not realizing just what was coming his way on the rebuild. And these Ultras are going to run past the Tempest and just go across the map. Actually seen an Ultra running in and killing a Stasis Ward there. One of the very few times you'll see a melee unit clearing out a Stasis Ward. As we get to the other side, it's the Tempest out of the issue. Now we're going to go Hydras though. The Ultras have dealt with everything else. They're going to do major damage before the Tempest clean them up, and that is the problem. With Hydras on the rebuild as well, Tempests are not going to be too much of a threat for too long. Serral's follow-up attack is working. Nexus goes down. I mean, it's still just those Tempests, and he's losing all the Overseers. So he is going to be supply blocked. Going to have to fix that. He already built a bunch of Hydras. Would be able to build more if he wasn't supply blocked, but the supply block is going to catch him for now. Like I say, that gold base is such a sweet little bonus for Serral. However, it is found now, and drones are untroubled from it. So the Oracle game able to get kills, not even a spawn position. More Tempests coming up. The Oracle's dealing damage, man. 9 workers going down. Serral building Corruptors. He realizes that his main threat to deal with right now is really just the Tempest. He dealt with everything else for the moment. Obviously, some of that will rebuild, but he's going to be building from the ground up, so things will get after the Nexus up over there. Just going to be seeing the Lings running back over again. We're just going to open up this space, open up these rocks, and just make this a more defendable area, a more mobile area, something you can move through and run through much more easily, much more comfortably. As a couple more Infestors get added on, the Corruptor's still being added up as well. We take a moment to breathe. 15 minutes in here on Persephone. Serral is still maxed. He's rebuilt his drone count. His army composition is looking a lot better now. It's still very, it's very ultra heavy, and obviously, hero's going to have more immortals added on to help deal with that. What I worry about is kind of the Tempest count, and I don't know which side I worry about it for. Is it too many Tempests? Is 12 Tempests too many? Does Serral have enough to deal with 12 Tempests? I feel like it's almost so many Tempests that maybe Serral doesn't have enough to actually fight those. And depends how it goes. Love the drop laws. That might be something to abuse the mobility of this army of the Protoss still. Be something we trend towards trying to handle. 5 drop lords coming about. Infestor on the way. +2 melee. Flyer Carapace. Gold base going to be under fire. Serral sees the importance in this location. Coming up, once the fungal grows, he's going to land a fungal on everything in the back. He wants to refungal that, no doubt. He is going to get it. The storm's coming through, though. Serral and herO are both losing a lot. Fungals again on the Tempest, and the Corruptors will just chase those down. Gonna go Observer hunting as well. Why the hell not? Wow, what a fight from Serral in the end. The Fungals were massive. Forced herO to commit to the fight. I wouldn't even say the fight was terribly bad for herO at first. It was just the fact he couldn't really reposition or micro during it. Dropper Lords here haven't even needed to be used. That was just such a good fight from Serral. Looking to maybe push himself to 3-1 in this series now, because that was a fantastic situation he just built for himself. Fungal on these Stalkers, they're going to get caught too. The Fungals are just not being answered. Finding no good way to get rid of them. All those Stalkers die. Pain, pain, pain. That supply you can't afford to lose as herO on the back of that previous fight. And Serral is looking to be a fight away from winning this game now, because that was a major, major swing point in this game. And them Ultras have been just absolutely feasting. Obviously, the, ability to kind of fungal and get those Ultras on top of whatever they want to get on top of is super useful, and that has been an amazing part of this. We're gonna get an Ultra drop into the main base. I love it. Ultras into the main base via the Dropper Lords. And the crowd truly goes wild as the Ultras dive on in. We're going to recall some units over here. We could lift and get out, but this is just going to open the right side base to attack, and that's going to be absolutely destruction mode. I think this is going to be... Yeah, I think this is just going to be it. I mean, you can't really lose this base here as herO. The Mothership's coming off this base as well, so you're not going to get that out if the Nexus dies too soon. Ultras are just kind of figuring out if they want to hit the mineral line, want to hit the Nexus, so if they want to go after the units. They're going to start chasing some of the units down. They're going to turn them to the Nexus as well. A little bit of a split from Serral, who's just building 6 new Ultras. He right-clicks the Nexus. I like it because A, you want to get rid of it, and B, the Mothership's coming up on it, right? So it's like a win-win if you get rid of it quickly, and then you just retreat, wait, go again. Here it gets reduced down to 4 bases, and you have so many Ultras on the way. You can take another fight here in the near future, no doubt. Serral looking to break this through to a 3-1 advantage after 4 games. In a very aggressive series from Serral, a lot of these games are coming down to him trying to hit timing windows, attacks, different ways of doing it each time, and a different variation of how aggressive we turn out to be, but definitely being on that kind of direction is we're not going to see this hatchery going down. A few more drones still going to stay at it as this gold base does drop. The problem is that herO's army is kind of stuck on this right side avenue. Recall is on cooldown, remember? I actually thought Serral was going to go up here with more than just the Lings, maybe some Ultras to try and trap this army in. We'll take a moment. He's going to finish up Neural Parasite as well. Not really a good way to deal with neuraling Infestors on the map. I mean, we are going to have, what? No feedbacks available. Okay, 2 High Templar just got added in. There's just nothing at range which really deals with the Infestors anymore. 1 Tempest, right? So Neurals really do have a huge possibility of being game-defining here. Could be massive. Lings get through. Probe's in trouble. Army coming down that right side. In we go as the Ultras, well, they're going to come in behind the New World Archons, but you're just going to go to town already. And just having the Archons to tank for you a little bit and open up with some damage is obviously amazing. As they come out of New World, they are met in the face by Ultra Claws, swiping down on them. And in the end, Serral actually does kind of get pushed back because the Immortal count is pretty high. And those Archons are also pretty good, but 7 new Ultras on the way, more Lings coming up. I do believe Serral's rebuild should be plenty no matter what. We also have Fungals available still. We actually just still have Infestors in general to use. You're going to go for some more Neural Parasites as Lings come from the top side of the map. And with the Neurals especially, it's going to make this a bit too one-sided. And then we can attack down these units. While still Neural, the Archons especially will not be able to do anything. And herO has less than 90 supply, less than 80 supply even. This one should be getting called game anytime soon because at this point it's a little bit too far gone. herO is living on a prayer that Serral just forgot to have an economy behind all of this or something to that effect. Because truly we are a mile and a foot away from actually having any hope here. Nice little storm, hit a few Infestors. It's not going to matter. Serral takes the 3-1 lead. And herO is going to be looking a bit lost in a game here where it felt like he had some good defenses early on. It felt like he had the chance to maybe make it happen, maybe make it work out, but it wasn't quite enough. And hence here we are now, going into a Game 5 with Serral being on match point, opportunity to close this out. Realistically, guys, I think this is going to be my last series. My last game. Whether Serral wins or loses, I'm going to jump out after this one, so I will obviously host you guys up wherever people are still casting. But for me, this is going to be my last game, because it's about the time. Unless this game's literally like 2 minutes long and the series doesn't end, then we will... Yeah. Then obviously maybe not, but yeah, generally speaking, we're probably going to call it after this, as we are seeing the lobby come up, it seems. Game 5. Incorporeal. Ooh, I actually like this map for some of the longer games as well. Let's see what happens. Alright, getting Incorporeal up and running. It's ready to roll. Ready in GLHF already being called by herO. Serral joins us. Should be right on into this, guys. This is the final. Nope, this is lower bracket, round 2. Serral lost to Raynor. herO lost to Clem. To end up down here. Let's get into Incorporeal. Winner of this qualifies to the offline finals. Of course, the loser of this will actually have a second chance that they wouldn't usually have because of Classic's forfeiture. The loser of this will get a second chance. They will play Zoun for a final slot in the offline finals. So, slight adjustment to the bracket there. As in the bottom right, herO is in must-win territory if he wants to make it work in this series, but he's just not being able to get the better of his opponent. Super fast probe across the map, and Serral plays in the top left-hand corner of the map. Our red circ. Thank you so much, Dominator, for the 54-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate you. Prime us up month after month. We appreciate it. We know why Classic forfeit. Apparently he has mild medical concerns. He was advised not to travel. That's the reason we got given to give. Hatch just goes down onto the third location, so herO gets what he wants out of this early probe across the map, gets the hatchery blocked. We'll be happy with that. We're gonna hatch gas and pool coming up. Gateway on the way, probe is coming about. On this probe for the moment, because that's pretty much the excitement of the first couple of moments here. Probe harassing. I wonder if herO tries to shift this in a big way himself. I wonder if herO sees an opportunity here to maybe try and do something a little different, a little bit more aggressive, or something to those, to that sort of signs. We'll wait and see. Stargate building up, no surprise there just yet. Stargate, Adept, Warp Gate, continue coming through. Just see that link speed still coming up. That's a couple shots coming through. Adept gonna go in after the hatch. Just gonna see the Oracle and the Warp Gate still building. Link speed about to be done. Crony's building through. Adept just gonna nibble at the hatchery. Nothing too major as the Oracle comes out. We'll go put some pressure onto the upper side of the map here and make something happen. See, Serral has been, again, pretty aggressive in this series. Even when it's been kind of a longer game, he's been kind of initially setting up for aggression and fights and trying to bring the fights to his opponent. Lings building through. Oracle coming about. Just going to see a couple queens firing. Oracle will take a few more shots. Still just going to shoot at the Ovi. He's going to get killed. Rotron on the way up from Serral as well for the moment. Going to bring that through. Fun's coming about. Rotron will finish soon. +1 missiles on the way out. And just have the attack upgrade and charge all continue to come around for a few moments then. Bring that about. And yeah, +1 missiles, Rotron, all of that building through as a couple of extractors will finish very shortly. So expect coming by, a couple of adepts in the store, going to go after those Zerglings. Serral poking around to try and see what's up. Leg coming in, much more normally timed after we saw the game on Sandworm earlier. Serral playing that kind of 2-basey lair. As drone does not get to become the hatchery. Fourth hatch again denied a serious amount by these oracles. Same on the left side. Oh, he gets the hatchery down. herO didn't recognize the opportunity there. So he does get a couple drones, but did let the hatch go down. That maybe could have been denied a little. Stasis ward dealt with handily. So trying to again minimize what these stasis wards can do. Praising his defense against the oracles typically, and I'm just going to try and see him continuing for that right now as the queen does get caught in a stasis. A lot of zealots from herO back in the main. Charge has been the follow-up, and I wonder if he's just trying to catch Serral off guard with a ton of zealots. And if Serral doesn't recognize that that's coming, maybe he's not really prepared to actually deal with the fact that herO is just spamming early game units. The Lings scout here, but they don't really see much. +2 starts though, so Cell upgrade about to finish. That roach speed on the way. Hydra Den completing. Muscular augments will begin. I'm so intrigued as to what the... I mean, it is just a big attack from herO. At least it looks like a big attack. Serral building Hydras like he doesn't really want Hydras right now. He wants Roaches. He wants things that can kind of tank. He needs to play a very defensive position here as these Zealots show up. This couple of Queens going to try and make their way across. Somehow we'll actually kind of get towards the left. Oh, Zealot's just going to leak through. It's looking very good for herO so far. Like I say, Serral's been looking to play a longer game, basically. 10 drones already down. A few Hydras going after the couple of Oracles out here, but those Zealots, if they get loose and they get into just good enough numbers, it's going to become tough. These Queens on the left side have been amazing, by the way. They stuck around for a long time. And Serral find a defense. 13 new Roaches coming up. Hydra's trying to pull back into defensive positions. Drones will pull to try and help as well. We desperately need the Roaches because they can just have the chance to maybe tank enough. But I just don't think it's going to be enough at all. GG says Serral. herO's attack is going to find Serral off guards. And that is going to be good for herO to take game number 5. And put himself a map away from, well, a map closer to staying in this series. So, series continues into a game number 6. Serral, 3-2 lead over his opponent. I'm thinking, do I want to call it, or am I going to try and go one more game? I think we try for one more game, guys. I think we stick around one more map. If this starts going long, we will maybe tap out, but let's see what the game sets up for. Might have to mute up for a minute during this as well, but either way we'll figure it out as we just get set. And we'll go Serral versus herO game 6. I won't be able to do game 7 for sure though, guys. Won't be able to do game 7. Ready, GLHF getting cold, everything getting set up. Can I tell my boy Chase you need a big date game today for fantasy? I need Chase to have a big day too, man. I need to have a big day too. I'm the underdog in my league that I have chasing. I'm the underdog today by like 2%. I look at the teams, I don't really love them for me, so I kind of need Chase to step up a bit. I also believe. Hey, what's up, Mayhem? Tier 3 resub. Thank you for all the content as always with the 81 months attached to it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. What's my squad? I don't even know. The league I have Chase in is the league I don't pay as much attention to. It's also like a 16-man league. It's pretty miserable. It's pretty miserable, so I actually don't know who else I really have. I just know I have Chase. 16-man. Yeah, it's horrible. It's my RuneScape Clans Fantasy League, and I ran it last year, but I couldn't be bothered this year, and then someone else took it over, and they were just like, yeah, we'll just take as many people as want to play, and I'm like, but the crazier part is originally they had like 6 bench slots as well. I was like, no! I was like, you guys are going to have to like reduce the bench slots, and they're like, oh, great idea, and they reduced it to 5. I was like, that's not what I meant. I meant like take it down to like 2 or 3. Like make it fun, make it so there's players available. Oh, yeah. Alrighty, guys, let's get into game number 6 of Serral and herO. Serral leading 3-2. One map will send him through to Paris. herO needing to win 2 more back-to-back still. This doesn't feel super fun. Need to rely on. Dronies. It's going to be moving about, mining around. We'll hatch a little bit of everything coming in for a few moments. The drone pulling across. I'm going to go after a probe for a little bit as well. To take a few moments. Cybercore on the Nexus coming online. They were mixing up with something a little weird that Serral was not really ready for in that last game. And to me, I really think that that's what we got to keep doing here as herO if we want to see success in this game. I think that's really the kind of route we need to kind of, like I say, keep on heading toward. Couple queens, the few lings, the overlord coming about. King speed will be building. We just have that queen coming through, a few drones on the way. Still going to poke at our overlord for a couple of moments. And Twilight Council, a couple of probes, the Stalker and the Warp Gate all building up for now. And we just have that over. He's still taking some steps up towards the top. Well, the probe is going to sit there underneath it. And that overlord is going to go down as herO drops the Robo Facility on the back of the Twilight Opener. You can see Serral is desperately trying to find a way in for some info. These couple lings get deflected too. Nothing starting just yet off the Twilight. It's going to be soon though. 100 gas finishing. Surely that's just Glaive's time. Or we just build a Dark Shrine and it's going to line up with the Prism to then be an Archon drop, which is also fairly uncommon. Serral's building a lot of lings, a couple Stalkers on the map. He might feel a chance with no, with no Oracle out as well. He might see the chance to get something done with these lings. I don't necessarily disagree. I think there may be a bit of an opportunity, so I don't hate it. The units of herO do join up together, though, and they're going to be choked for now. It doesn't mean he can't take a third base, and those lings are going to keep him very honest on the fact he can't take a third base. And again, the Dark Shrine, the couple of gates continue through. Like I said, definitely a little bit of a weirder approach here from herO to kick this off. Ends up going to be there, a couple of lings taking damage. He's trying to bait these Stalkers forward. They are not rising to the bait. They're not stepping too far forward at all. herO knows what could be lying in wait for him. He's absolutely making the correct call there. Serral has no detection, by the way. He has one Spore Crawl, so DTs could be annoying. He finally gets the Stalkers. Gonna get one, gonna get two. Link to scout up. Adept is gonna shade back, realizing it might be in trouble. Battery starts to build. So just gonna pull out over here. The Prism's on its way across the map. Serral, again, just one Spore Crawler right now. Could really do with a little bit extra defensively and detection-wise. Because those DTs are about to warp in, and if that Spore is not in the best possible place, we're in trouble. It's going to relocate to the front of the natural. That means it could maybe walk toward the third, but it would have to walk toward the third here because the DTs are going to walk right in over here. Serral's preparation for the DTs is absolutely minimal. And the third hatchery, it's going to be in trouble, man. 2 drones going down. We start new spores. We're going to relocate this Spore Crawler across. Obviously, we are going to want to make sure that the DTs get to go elsewhere. Those spores elsewhere probably do get to come online. So it's going to be a very clutchly timed defense, but it is going to be a defense out of Serral. Shouldn't lose too much more here. Spore gets protected by the Ling surround just about. Prism actually kind of low as well, and Serral will defend against the DTs with minimal damage taken. Obviously lost a couple workers initially, but after that he really did make this pretty much as clutch as it was going to be. And herO will not get through. That is really showing you the defense with the bare minimum. And look at that follow-up from herO. Shadow Stride on the way. Love this, though, from the Lings. They are out on the map, and they're going to make use of themselves. Cancels the third base, and keeping herO as a 2-base Protoss for as long as possible is only going to benefit you. So the more we can do that, the happier we're going to be. A couple of DTs coming over. Shadow Stride still coming in. The probes and the pylon coming up. Flare, drones, Lings, all producing here. It is looking pretty good for Serral. I like where he's at. The leg gives him the overseers for mobile detection on the map as well. Like I said, I just don't know if herO's done enough. But maybe Shadow Stride and DT Blink will be an answer in the future. Maybe that gives him some opportunities. I'm super excited if it does, because that means we're in for a wild game if he starts finding chances with that, right? So we shall see. DTs sit underneath the Prism. And Blink building, Shadow Stride on the way. Going to come across. There are the DTs in big numbers. Going to go for the Spore. We have an Overseer morphing, but just started to morph. So the DTs being in this higher number are going to be a problem. I mean, this hatchery will die. Here's the funny thing, is I actually think we can lose this hatchery and not be overly upset about it. Like you're not going to love it as Serral, but I wonder if this is still playable, because this is a commitment from herO that's extremely huge, and he does not exactly have a great follow-up. And he's still not killed a lot of drones. Serral's building a base on the 12 o'clock that drones can go to soon. Now there's Overseers out, DTs are not going to be anywhere near as much of a problem. He can morph them into Archons, but that's pretty much all he's going to be able to do with those. It's a very committed play from herO, which is why I feel like getting the hatchery may not even be the be-all and end-all, right? Like, don't get me wrong, Serral's not going to be loving losing it, but I still think it's a very playable game for Serral. Again, the Immortal starting up. Serral about to have Roach Speed +1 missiles. I mean, his numbers is not exactly he's not got an insane numbers count because he has been dealing with DTs throughout. Obviously, mining disrupted. It actually puts us into a very interesting place right now. Very interesting. DT's going to blink back out down to the south. +1 and blink both coming through. The additional Archons coming about. Robo Bay producing. Archons will start a strike. Obviously, Prism allows you to be aggressive with these for a little while. A few extra Stalkers and the Colossus coming up. Bringing that all online. As you just see the Burrow coming by. +1 missile attack coming through. Carapace coming up as well. Burrow still very much so building in. Charge. Thermal Lens. +2 attack. Coming online as well. It's a lot of units from herO starting to come across. Is he really? I don't think he really wants to push because he's got a lot of stuff coming up for the future. Maybe he feels like there's an opportunity here. Those rocks are very low. Do not want to get caught on the wrong side of that. Serral will just finish them off. Force him around the other direction, which Serral can take a good surround on. Good group spread out here for now as well, although that starts to get cleaned up. This will ensure that gets cleaned up as well. It's just going to knock that down. Again, Thermal Lance, the +2 and the charge, all still building into place. Roach Ravager starts to come down the right. Serral's about to be maxed, by the way. He's against a very, like I say, pretty tech-heavy army. The Prism here can save this Archon, that's not a problem. The Ravagers get some good damage done. Serral is looking to be coming from all sides. Just pure Roach Ravager max. Can he do it? He's going to get some free biles off here onto the static defense, and that's huge. Being able to bile that without anything else going on is kind of a big deal, but again, he actually doesn't finish off those batteries, so they're still going to get value. Don't know if Serral's actually going to find what he needs to find here. Stalker's going to blink up. Roach is going to take damage. Roach on the bottom side at least will hit this fourth base and make this a little bit more of a struggle here for herO. Roaches do have to leave, but that was kind of their goal, just to get in, do a bit of damage, and step out of there. Coming back in now from the other side. Roach Ravager going to keep coming through. Some of those Stalkers in some trouble. Serral getting more upgrades as we go, but so is herO. Thermal Lance, an additional Colossus coming up. 2 Immortals on that right side going to shred as well. I'm just not sure if Serral really has the number advantage in high enough away to really make a Roach Ravager shove work. Prison speed's coming up, so herO doesn't feel too concerned. He's setting up into, utility-based upgrades. Prison speed, +2 attack. All getting added on here currently is the Evo Chamber. In the back there as well. These Roaches just step into a Colossus. There's no way you break through there. Serral's going to have to start the Infestation Pit up, but that's really not going to be great for him either. I mean, he can definitely realize that this is going a little bit wrong, unfortunately. He's going to see a few more Corrosive Vials coming up. Pylons will go down. Going to be seeing another Corrosive Vial. That Pylon will get jumped on. Battery coming through as well. The Roach Ravager still breaking forward. The Stalker's in a little bit of trouble. A couple more Corrosive Vials drop into place. Prism lifts up the Colossus. Serral really trying to send this here. Supply has taken a bit of a swing in his favor, so maybe this continued aggression is finding a little bit of something. His main army back out to the center of the map. It's the Colossus count that I worry about. I just don't see what you really do against this. I mean, the Hive on the way, but we're a mile away from really getting Vipers out. What he is going to do is he's got a lot of the Protoss army still to the left, and he's going to jump on everything on the right side now, where there's only one Colossus. herO out of position here. Corrosive Vials are going to force the Stalkers to blink, but they actually eat the Biles. Messy stuff now. The Colossus gets saved. Look how far away the rest of this army is. herO lost track of where Serral was at. Biles landing again, hitting those Stalkers hard. Is it enough for Serral? What's crazy is that it might not be. A lot of probes going down. Reinforcements are getting caught a little bit. I mean, this is just turning into a messy affair. Both Serral and herO lost a lot, realistically still. Stalkers still getting dropped. Archon getting forced to lift up again. A couple of Mortals coming through. Colossus still firing. Roach Ravager taking hits. Serral loses a lot on the retreat, which is his biggest problem. Retreating away, he's going to lose a lot of units. The Stalkers blink up. herO will chase. I just don't think Serral's going to ever have the units he needs to really make this work, right? Like, he's playing Roaches still. There's 3 Colossus. There's 3 Immortals. This army is just so tech-heavy. I just don't think Roach Ravager gets it done. There was a few moments where I looked hopeful, but he just never took enough of an army advantage. And it really feels as though this is going to turn into GG's. And herO will force a Game 7 of this best-of-7 here against Serral. Colossus just going to laser beam down. I mean, this hatchery will go down. Serral clearly feels like he has to fight this. A couple Corrosive Vials do land. I mean, that's going to give you a chance maybe, but even then, it's not going to be a huge chance. He does get rid of one Colossus. The Mortal's going down. Roach is on the other side. Both players have lost a serious amount of work. There's a Prism to micro with as well, so we shouldn't actually lose these Colossus. Please don't lose them. Oh, he loses one Prism! Getting Bile down as well. We're one Bile off from killing the Prism. Oh my god, like, he's so close to making it work because he's done so much eco damage. herO does not have a lot of economy. If that Prism had died there, it might have been enough. It might still be enough for Serral, to be honest. 20 army supply lead when the Protoss army is now one Colossus, one Immortal. Like, now it feels like the Roaches might be a little bit better off. A few more Ravagers on the way in. You just want to bile that Prism down. That Prism is such a lifeline here for the Protoss. Currently having to bile down the force fields, open up some space. Spines on the high ground. herO's basically all in, which means that the Spines are an amazing addition as well. Going to relocate as herO goes around the other direction. Warping of Stalkers, but Serral is out mining herO, which means that he is getting more. He's got a far right base that's going to be a major lifeline to him. Here we go. Spinecrawler's going to have to help. The Immortal is in the front. It's going to have to micro that back. Now the Colossus may be targetable, but Serral decides to back up instead. Going to take a couple more moments. No opportunity to bile just yet onto the Prism. Oh, we're going to blink forward as herO. He's going to go in for this. The Immortal needs to be saved. Is it enough right now? herO is going for the Ravagers. The Spinecrawler is starting to drop. The Immortal does go down. That's a huge factor. The Colossus is going to be saved by the Prism again. Drones are going to pull because it's that close of a game. But there goes the Colossus. And without that, surely there's less of a chance here from herO, who is just on Stalkers against a Roach mass. And I don't think herO can do it. The Prism has to evacuate away the Stalkers. And it looks as though the Roach Ravager of Serral is going to get it done. These Roaches on the other side have been killing probes throughout. Only 23 probes remain. We're going to warp in a DT to just go for a Hail Mary. I tell you what, Serral mining off that right-hand side is such a big deal. That's such a huge factor. Absolutely massive. What a game from Serral. I mean, the Stalkers are going to try and do what they can, but the reality is there. It is written on the wall that Serral is just going to have the numbers now, because herO was so committed to this attack. A DT shows up, find this right side base is nice. Overseer actually has to morph, so that's a problem. It's a question of, is it enough overall? Chasing down drones. Serral is up by 20 workers. Having to deal with aggression on two sides is, yeah, genuinely being a little bit of the issue right now. I mean, herO doing what he can to bring himself back, building probes behind this. But now Serral has a ridiculous amount of army. And realistically, Serral should just be able to walk across the map and force a fight. Because herO's not built anything good for a long time. No Colossus, no Immortal, no Archons. None of the stuff that would have made this truly, good. And this Roach Ravager army is going to come straight down across the other side. Stalker's there. Going to take some hits. The Roaches keep pushing through. Pylon, the battery, taking some damage. Nexus going to be in trouble as well. Just going to be seeing that Pylon drop, and the Stalker's in trouble. Probes keep going down. This should be enough for Serral to get herO to get out of this game. It was very close, but man, Serral, as somehow he always does, is going to find a way. He might lose this base on the right side. I don't know if that necessarily matters with how much Serral has. Yeah, herO agrees it's not going to matter. GG, what a game, what a result. Serral takes it 4-2 over herO and will qualify to the top 4. Guys, that's going to be where I leave you today. herO will be playing Zoun, but I'll host you guys up over onto a different stream for that. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to rush off because I stuck around a little bit longer than I was going to, so I'm going to head off. See you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow with WardiTV Mondays, and I'll see you guys there.